Grim blood. Yeah, bruv. The game ain't hard when you got the trump card. It's all rigged and I'm pulling more games than Bob Uecker. Changing the outcomes like Duke Nukem to a new future. Win some, lose some, bag some, choose none. Will the aliens come save the day? Are we going to listen to what they say? The uranium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously training in the Palladium gymnasium. Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean and Sylvanians. Bloodlines, overtime, dragon descendants. Scripting bread and circus lizards in attendance. Serpent queens, breaking dreams, dragging me down. The underworld royalty is all about how much you can clown. I'm talking about the number 9 too. If you didn't know, well now you do. Numerous fears, what's in the hearse? I am who I am, man with a plan. Where you at with the rebellion? 1 in a million, us against a billionaire reptilians. Look at the word rebellion, spells out the same as the rebel lion. Ain't even trying, ain't living, you're dying. Well done to the skeleton, no time for the bellion. Strawmen led by spellmen, dialectic Hegelian. Everyone's worked up waiting for the aliens. Problem, reaction, solution, little contribution. The script tells that they cast spells like nuclear fusion. Spreading confusion, lie distribution. Old as hell, ain't even some new shit.
What's up, ballers? Mic check. Coffee, where you at? Can you hear me? There she is.
The uranium, cranium, aliens popping up like circadians. Got me spontaneously training in the Palladium gymnasium. Ultimate battle in the extraterrestrial stadium. It really just be the Mediterranean Transylvanians. Will the aliens come save the day? Are we gonna listen to what they say?
Welcome back, ballers, to another episode of Eye to Eye with AJ, Rambo, and potentially KODI. As we know, you guys, KODI makes a lot of sacrifices for this channel, for this show. So he may or may not be joining us tonight. It is a late or early morning for him. But we've pinged him. Maybe he'll jump in a little bit. We'll see. But first and foremost, Rambo, can you hear me, my friend?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother. Fantastic.
All right, very good.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Sorry for starting late. You know, we're fashionably late typically, if you guys haven't already caught on to that, but lots to work through on the back end. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you, 345. I'm glad you enjoyed that new intro song. Like to mix it up every once in a while. We'll jump right into intros. My name is AJ, Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's and Ball. You guys can find my content on Instagram as well as YouTube, where we are streaming from tonight. I've written 11 books at this point. These are just some screenshots of my covers. If you guys are interested in any of my content of the books that I've written, feel free to send me an email at wordplaybook, 3 O's and book @gmail.com. I also have a Patreon for those that are interested in sports notes before game time, for those that enjoy the gambling side of things. We talked about KODI. You guys can find Decoding with KODI at Decoding with KODI 589 on YouTube as well. Please make sure to give him a subscribe if you haven't done so already. And for those that are interested in financially supporting him, you guys can always make a donation to his Buy Me a Coffee link at buymeacoffee.com/decoding with KODI. Rambo, you have the floor, my friend.
Yeah, thanks again for putting this together. And yeah, it's good to be here again. Thanks for inviting me. Hopefully KODI will show up. But again, remember, this is how we started, right?
Yep.
Before KODI joined. join. So there'll still be plenty of interesting decoding from all of us. Nonetheless, I'd like to thank you again for promoting my channel, which is patreon.com/thetruthcodes. One tier, it's $5 a month. You can also join for free as well. You can join for free. And I'm also on Instagram.com/thetruthcodes.
And let them know about your Discord. You know, that's a big value add as well to your Patreon.
Yeah, so yeah, Discord is part of the Patreon. And there are many brilliant members of the community who have great decodes, which they share on the Discord. And they're very active, very knowledgeable. And you can either just look at the decodes or, share with them as well. It's called Codebreaker Community. Right.
And as I always do, I can attest to that. I'm very happy to be a part of that community as well. So much knowledge to be shared, right? We are only 2 people. We only got 4 eyes here, technically 6 when you can include the one in our forehead, so to speak. But yeah, Rambo's Discord is fantastic, and so are all of you. This is why we do this, is so we can help continue to expand on our observations. We're going to dive right into it. So for me, I had been working on quite a presentation with regards to Revenge of the Nerds, because we talked about that movie. I believe it was last stream, if it wasn't the stream prior. But it started with the death of Robert Carradine, or Carradine. Not entirely sure how it's pronounced, but he is best known for being the main nerd in Revenge of the Nerds, as well as playing the father of Lizzie McGuire, which was a very popular Disney TV show back in the day. I'm going to plant a little seed here. Think about Lizzie is a nickname for Elizabeth, which makes me think about Elizabeth Smart, right? Elizabeth Smart, nerd, being smart, wearing your glasses, right? Which then kind of segues into Nancy Guthrie, the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie in Tucson, Arizona, 1 month prior to Robert Carradine's death, right? So I was always familiar with this movie. I never had actually watched it until this past week, and did a lot of research, a lot of digging, and wanted to share with you guys some of my observations. And Rambo and I had an opportunity to do kind of a quick rehash of those things, and you guys will see how perfectly intertwined this is with all of the work that Rambo's been doing about the moon and Jack Parsons over the last several episodes. And I guess to kind of tee things off, funny enough, the original Revenge of the Nerds was first released on July 20th, 1984. This movie was filmed at the University of Arizona. Arizona equals 84. Nancy Guthrie turned 84 4 days before she was first reported missing, right? And this is also the anniversary date of the moon landing, right? Back in 1969. So, Rambo, I'll pause there. I don't want to go too fast. So I'll just take a quick pause there.
Yeah, so the University of Arizona, like you said, it has a very popular space program, or astronomy, or probably rocketry department. And for the moon landing, whether or not it's a legitimate thing or not, training for the moon landing actually took place at the University of Arizona. So it ties directly into the moon landing. And again, so I've been talking about Jack Parsons. Why have I been talking about Jack Parsons? He's considered one of the most significant people in the formation of NASA and in jet propulsion and aeronautics and rocketry. And the Economist 2026 year preview issue was full of rockets. It had the world as a soccer ball. The thing that stood out was all the rockets all over the Economist magazine cover for their preview issue. Now, if you look at previous year preview issues, the images there didn't always necessarily predict, because you could look back at the end of the year, look back at the Economist cover. They didn't always necessarily predict things that happened in the year. You look back at the magazine cover and say, oh yeah, that happened. That usually isn't the case. Well, so far this one has been the case to all the rockets. Unfortunately, what's going on now in the Middle East is just missiles and rockets everywhere, back and forth. And Jack Parsons is relevant to this. Jack Parsons, who actually co-founded the Jet Propulsion Labs of NASA, which is JPL, Jet Propulsion Labs, which everybody in NASA knows is really Jack Parsons' lab. It's a Jack Parsons tribute. And so I've indicated there are a lot of Jack Parsons tributes going around now. And he is considered, they say the moon landing would not have happened. I mean, Werner von Braun gets most of the credit, Nazi scientist who worked for NASA, but they still say that the moon landing would not have been possible without the contribution of Jack Parsons. As far as his on jet propulsion, they say he discovered a certain kind of fuel, some additive or whatever, that you had to only a specific kind of fuel, which had it not been for his discovery and other things in general, it would not have happened. So he's directly connected to NASA, the moon mission. And you can see here, July 20th, that's the day of the moon landing. And Jack Parsons has a crater on the dark side of the moon named after him. So he's very relevant in many cases. We talked about the moon child and Aleister Crowley and how he's connected to Trump, but yeah, we can get into that more later.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Rambo. I'm not sure if you saw it, but I'm almost positive. Shout out to the chat if you guys can keep me honest here. Excuse me. Wasn't there something recently that the latest mission to the moon got canceled or something like that? I don't know if you caught wind of that, yes. But yeah. So, I mean, that news broke just recently as well.
Yeah, so they've been scheduling, and then rescheduling this rocket. It's Artemis, I think. And who's Artemis? Artemis is the Greek moon goddess, whom the Romans called Diana. It's the Artemis mission, and they keep postponing it. I don't know if it's not a man. I don't believe it's a manned mission. It's but yeah, they keep postponing it. So who knows when.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting with the stuff you've been talking about with the moon and kind of what you and I were talking about on and offline now at this point with just the moon missions and Arizona, being well known for their space program. Very interesting stuff, especially when you think about the sun and the moon, right? Let's not forget about the eclipse, 2 years ago at this point. We're on the doorstep of the Final Four. And shout out to you, Rambo. We had a really extensive conversation about how we predicted essentially that all four of the teams in the Final Four were going to be directly related to the eclipse back on, what was it? 4/8, April 8th, right? Which can also be written 8/4. Let's not forget that Arizona equals 84. And we'll get into that in a minute. But another, thing, Balll Don't Lie, got to tie in the sports themes. Let's not forget, too, Revenge of the Nerds is about the nerds versus the jocks, right? The athletes. So what a perfect kind of coincide here with the sports themes, especially since we're on the doorstep of the Final Four, or March Madness, so to speak. But for those that don't know, you guys, LeBron James's middle son, Bryce, is a redshirt freshman at the University of Arizona. And the University of Arizona, once again, is the filming place of the original movie Revenge of the Nerds. And Robert Carradine recently passed back on February 23rd of this year, 1 month after the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, and we'll get into that as well. But when we look at Bryce James, first of all, I always thought it was interesting that he wears those nerdy glasses, doesn't he? I don't know. I don't think I've seen another player in college basketball that actually wears this. I'm not saying that there isn't one, excuse me, but in light of everything we're talking about tonight, I thought that was very, very interesting that you have Bryce James, who could potentially win a national championship in college as a redshirt freshman without having to play a single minute this whole season. So I wanted to point that out, but even further, when we dive deeper into some date durations and the gematria, I want to emphasize here that Carradine was reportedly dead at on February 23rd of this year. And like we talked about, Revenge of the Nerds was released in 84, filmed in Tucson, and pretty much the whole movie was filmed at the University of Arizona. But when you measure from the death date of Robert Carradine to Bryce James's upcoming birthday, which you guys should notice is also Donald Trump's birthday, it's exactly 111 days, just like how University of Arizona is 111 in the reverse reduction cipher. So I found that very interesting. I'm going to kind of leapfrog a couple slides here just because I haven't had a chance to put it in a perfect order, but I got it all here. The other thing I want to point out here is when you look at, once again, the death date of Robert Carradine, and you measure it up to the championship date this coming year, right? April 6th. It's exactly 42 days, just like Arizona. Very interesting. And I even took it a step further and I started looking into Nerds candies, right? The very popular candy by Willy Wonka. And I found here that the official brand launch for Willy Wonka Candy Company was May 17th. And when you measure from the championship date, you get another 42 leading up to the founding date of the Willy Wonka Candy Company. So there's your double 42 with Robert Carradine, the nerd of all nerds, and then the founding date of the company that makes nerds are both 42 days when you measure it up to and, before and after, essentially, using the championship date as your pin, so to speak. Even further, Angelo Ferreira Fragoso is the official creator of the Nerds candy. And sure enough, measuring once again from that championship date this year, college basketball, up to his death date, it's 208 days, like the Arizona Wildcats. Once again, Revenge of the Nerds was all filmed at the University of Arizona, which are the Wildcats. Back to the May 17th date, there's different ways that you can write it, but typically in the majority of the world, it's the date written 17/5. Well, that's interesting because forward and backward, you got Arizona Wildcats equaling 175. And you also got Tucson, Arizona equaling 175. So there's a very strong numerical connection here with Nerds and the University of Arizona, which makes a lot of sense why it was filmed at the University of Arizona, right? And I just noticed here too, Rambo, check this out. I'll take a pause. Nerds was invented in 1983. So Nerds came out, and then a year later, 1984 is when Revenge of the Nerds came out. So that was something I just saw as we're going through some of these visuals.
A lot of that ties into the presentation I have and my findings with Jack Parsons.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, this would and how he ties in with Donald Trump. But yeah, this would when I show my intro, you'll see how a lot of this ties in with I didn't even know about the nerd candy invented in 83. Tying with the 1984 that you talked about. It's very relevant. But also the nerds thing is, so the rocket scientists are nerds. You know, Jack Parsons was a nerd, and he had a group called the group of scientists that he worked with they were nicknamed the Suicide Squad. because their work was so dangerous. It was a nickname, but they were nerds. And even now, who are the prominent figures now who the world is concerned about now, because AI now is taking over, and it's Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, who's been even having influence across the world outside of his field of expertise, which is computer. Now he's into health when he has no background whatsoever in health. These are the nerds. And Bill Gates has that a stereotypical nerd look. So these are the nerds, the Peter Thiels, the Elon Musks, and the Bill Gates and Jack Parsons, the rocket scientists. So yeah, so nerds are very relevant to what's going on in the world at the moment.
Yeah, I saw some other breakdown of this whole movie, and it's like the nerds versus the jocks, and the jocks are the big bullies, but they're numbskulls and all that. But the interpretation, at least from that particular post, was, you know what? The jocks are actually the good guys. The nerds are actually the bad guys because they know a lot more, and they have this, fuel inside of them to get revenge, right? I wanted to shout out to Mr. S as well, just pointing out that this Wonka candy is also a division of sun mark, right? So there's that sun and moon symbolism, right? That will continue to tie in. I did a video several weeks or months ago at this point about the whole father-son ritual with Dylan Brooks at the Phoenix Suns game. But anyways, so kind of
real quick, since you're on this, just so this is irrelevant at this, if you go back to the 111.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me get that.
Yeah, so there's a magic square. Magic squares are actually, they're called magic squares because they are actually used in ritual magic.
Mm-hmm.
The magic square of the sun is 6 by 6. It has 36 boxes. It's a triangular number, but it's a 6 by 6 box. Every horizontal, every vertical, and the two diagonals of the magic square of the sun add up to 111.
Right, with 6 columns, 6 rows, which then totals 666.
Yes,
right?
It totals 666. But so 111 is relevant to the sun as the magic square of the sun, and Bryce is the sun.
Exactly.
So it's a double entendre. S-U-N.
And he wears number 6.
Yeah. So S-U-N-S-O-N. That's what the 111 that's manifesting here has to do with the magic square of the sun, which also ties into Aleister Crowley, because he used to call himself the Beast 666. He used to, when he wrote letters, the famous letter to Grady McMurtry, who's a member of Thelema, that letter was about Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard trying to invoke an Antichrist moon child. That's an example of, and of course the date of that letter, which is June 14th, 1946, the day that Donald Trump was born.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, so in my video, I did a video called Dance with the Devil on Patreon. So one of the elements of that video that I'll share is a famous song by Ozzy Osbourne, Mr. Crowley, which he mispronounces Crowley. It's pronounced Crowley, but he pronounces Mr. Crowley. MR, abbreviated for Mr. In the simplest cipher of Gematria, the simple cipher or ordinal cipher, Mr. Crowley sums to 111, which in the Sumerian cipher translates to 666. And Aleister Crowley explained, because they put him on trial and they referred to him as the wickedest man in the world. And he was actually on trial. And a famous line that he said is that when he refers to himself as the Beast 666, according to Crowley, the B666 referred to, in his words, sunlight, in his words. And he said, well, calling himself the B666, he says, well, if you don't like that term, you could always just call me Little Sunshine. So he really emphasized the sun. And 666 is the magic square of the sun. So, yeah, and 111 is related to that as well. And this ties into Crowley, Parsons, the moon, the sun. So, yeah, 111 is a major number there.
It's interesting, too, that LeBron has 3 sons, like 111. Just another observation. And I'm doing my best to try to really keep things as much on topic as I can, at least with what I have to present. But another very simple alignment here, I mentioned to it in the opener, is that during the time of the passing of Robert Carradine, best known for Revenge of the Nerds, filmed at the University of Arizona, right? We also had a month prior, and it's still going, she hasn't been found yet, is the disappearance or the abduction of Nancy Guthrie, right? And she is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, a big, well-known talking head, particularly in the Fox News sector. But look at this, dude. Nancy Guthrie's Nancy Guthrie's daughter is Savannah. That's interesting because LeBron James's wife is Savannah, right? So we have kind of this additional overlap here with Bryce James wearing the glasses, tying in with Robert Carradine, and then we have this Nancy Guthrie, disappearance happening in Tucson as well at the same time, and now there's this Savannah kind of connection I saw in my research, and I can't really expand beyond that, other than when I started looking into Savannah Guthrie, her birthday, December 27th, if you measure to the date of this year's Final Four, which is on 4/4, it's exactly 267 days before Savannah's next birthday, just like how University of Arizona equals 267 in the simplest cipher, A1, B2, C3. And that reminds me of Pope Leo the 14th, right? The first American Pope, who is from where? Chicago. And most people don't understand the connection between Chicago and Arizona, rightfully so, but I can speak to it because that's where I went. And there's 2 things. Let's not forget about the death of Charlie Kirk, right? Where did Charlie Kirk live? He lived in Arizona. Erica Kirk was Miss Arizona, right? Where is he from? Chicago. Okay, so we got that story from last year, back in September. But most people don't know that the slogan, so to speak, of the University of Arizona is Bear Down. And it has to do with their quarterback, John Button Salmon. It's a whole story. But my point is Bear Down is the slogan at Arizona. It's also the slogan in Chicago. See what I'm saying? So now you got kind of that Pope alignment with the 267, Savannah Guthrie, Arizona, Chicago, Pope Leo, the 267th Pope from Chicago, right? So I wanted to touch on that for a quick second. Oh yeah, Mr. S, nice. The Arizona Cardinals originated from Chicago, right? So that's a great one, Mr. S. Thank you for adding that in there. Yeah, there's direct connections there for sure.
I'll say one thing real quick about this number 267, especially with her birthday. So she's December 27th. In the tropical zodiac, December 27th is a Capricorn. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. 267 is a Saturn-related number. The planet Saturn has an axial tilt of 26.7 degrees.
Oh, that's right.
So for Earth, it's 23.5 roughly. For Saturn, its axial tilt is 26.7 degrees. So they say it tilts a maximum 26.7, then it leans back to its equinox, and then it leans another 26.7 for its winter solstice, and then leans back. So that's what that means. That's the axial tilt. That's a Saturnian number, 26.7 degrees.
Rambo, that's perfect because the Final Four, I think, as always, it's on a Saturday, named after Saturn, right? Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys, so I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Like I said, I was planning on making this kind of a solo thing at some point, but I thought now would be perfect, right? Since we're on the doorstep of March Madness. Once again, we're talking about Revenge of the Nerds. We're talking about the death of Robert Carradine. We're talking about the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Savannah Guthrie. And speaking of the moon, Rambo, I thought about you when I saw this scene. This is an opening scene when the nerds get to campus. And it reminded me of the work that you've done about the wheel and ET. So now we're going back to the moon symbolism here again, where the nerds are carrying, you know, all of their luggage, so to speak. And now you got students that are colliding into each other with the bikes. So it just made me think about ET phone home and all that stuff.
It's cycle symbolism in general. I also showed how they had the poster for Stranger Things season 5. And it's this all these bicycles for Stranger Things, which is an identical scene. So this started with E.T., the scene of the title character in E.T. What's the name again? Elliot.
Elliot, yeah.
Elliot and his friends, they're all on their bikes being chased before. It's an iconic movie scene. Donnie Darko reprised that scene. That was a shout out to E.T. After the Halloween party, we all had to leave the Halloween party when the clock was ticking down to the end of the 28 days. They left the Halloween party. They all got on their bikes, Donnie Darko and his friends, and they're all on their bicycles. Similar to E.T. Stranger Things did it. It's a very common theme in a lot of movies. It's the bicycle symbol.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many examples, even in mainstream news. Zelensky, who's an actor, who's the president of Ukraine, he did a movie called Servant of the People, and the poster has him on a bicycle. The bicycle, you can go on and on with the bicycle symbol, but the main important aspect of the bicycle symbol is the cycle. The cycle. The sun has a cycle. The moon has a cycle. Saturn has the rings. Saturn is said to be the ruler of karma, and Saturn rules the karmic cycle. It's all about the cycle. Now, the biggest cycle symbol, physical cycle symbol in the world is the Ferris wheel. All around the world, there are these humongous Ferris wheels everywhere. They're all over China. London's got a Ferris wheel. Paris has a Ferris wheel. Vegas, their Ferris wheel used to be the biggest until they were outdone by Dubai and all over the world. These Ferris wheels. What's with these Ferris wheels? What's the biggest cycle symbol? But where did the Ferris wheel start? The very first Ferris wheel, invented by George Washington Ferris, was unveiled in Chicago, known as the Chicago Wheel. Takes you back to Chicago. When you talk about this wheel symbolism, takes you right back to Chicago. What's the original wheel? The Chicago Wheel, invented by George Washington Gale Ferris. I think of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which took place it took place where? In Chicago.
Yep.
And the name Ferris, they chose the name Ferris because of Chicago's history as the location of the very first Ferris wheel. On so many levels, Chicago has this esoteric importance.
Oh, that's a great one, Rambo. And it reminds me too, later in this movie, they do these Greek festival games. And I'm pretty sure they have a Ferris wheel during those games too, in the background. I don't have a visual for it, but I'm pretty sure there was one in there. Speaking of which, another thing I wanted to point out, I thought was very interesting is, the nerds get their revenge essentially towards the end of the movie. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But that one of the games that they play is called the Trojan Horse, where essentially one fraternity tries to knock off a rider on this horse, so to speak, with rope, right? They're just kind of like, it's kind of like a mechanical bull, so to speak. What's up, Codes? Good to see you, brother.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you, brother. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
No, thanks for your sacrifice.
Yeah.
You could easily have just, slept through.
Are we already live? Okay.
There's a time change. Did Europe change? Because we.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think that might have been what happened.
I think that's what happened.
Shoot.
Oh, Europe didn't change. Oh, so we changed. Europe didn't change.
Oh my goodness! I did not know that. Shoot.
Yeah, so it's an hour earlier for him. So for him, 9 o'clock was 8 o'clock. Oh, Europe didn't change. The whole world doesn't change at the same time. That's what it was.
It all makes sense now. It's all good. Coach.
Okay, so wait, what time is it? Okay, now I got to figure out what time it would start for me. I can't believe I'm live. I'm live talking to everyone. Hello, Coffee Girl. Hello, Sojourn.
No, we're happy to see you, Coach. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
My goodness.
Yeah,
anyways,
it's a time change. Time change. It's an understandable mistake. If the time didn't change where he is, it's hard to figure out that, the United States is going to change its time, so I got to start an hour earlier. That was a tough one. Yeah, that was a tough one to.
So I have to start at 2 now? Is that what? Is that
until Europe springs ahead, because Europe has got to go where you are. They're going to go an hour ahead too, right?
I think so. They do at some point. I thought everyone did at the same time, but I'm guessing that they're going to also do it. I'll have to look into it, but thanks for waiting on me, or at least, yeah. Here I am thinking I'm jumping on at my normal time, and I'm like jumping on live stream. So,
Cody, it's all good, man. The chat is very happy to see you. Appreciate you jumping on with us, man. We've just been covering pretty much the two main themes have been the Revenge of the Nerds, right? Kind of going back to last week's conversation, as well as Rambo's stuff about the moon and Jack Parsons. And I just had a little bit more of an elaborate kind of decode on the movie Revenge of the Nerds. I had a chance to watch it over this past week. And right now you jumped in as I'm pointing out that Robert Carradine, right, the father in Lizzie McGuire, as well as he's mainly known for playing Lewis in the Revenge of the Nerds movie series. What are the odds that in the very first movie, towards the end, when the nerds get revenge on the jocks, one of the games that they play in the Greek games is called Ride the Trojan Horse? And we're now officially in the year of the fire horse, right? So that's what I was touching on. I don't have a whole lot on this next piece, but recently in the news as well is another actor who was, made his debut in Revenge of the Nerds, Timothy Busfield, where he's been in the news about apparently sexually assaulting or abusing actress Claudia Christian amid his ongoing, what going on, right? Everything with Epstein and whatnot. And a lot of other things, but Cody, in case you missed it, I think I might have sent this to you, but if not, Bryce James, the son of LeBron, he plays for Arizona. This movie was filmed at the University of Arizona. Bryce just so happens to wear those geeky, nerdy glasses. There's not many players in the league or, in college basketball that are doing that. That's really the gist of it. There's, of course, a heart theme. They zoom in on a lady's behind and says, "Try not to break too many hearts, Lewis." So, of course, you always got the love themes going on. And then I tied it also back in with Nancy Guthrie, Cody. So, Nancy Guthrie went missing and we haven't touched on this yet, Rambo, but you might find this interesting. And honestly, call me biased, right? I went to the University of Arizona. I've made that very clear. But I think the stories that have been unfolding leading up to March Madness starting next week, are very interesting with the Revenge of the Nerds and Nancy Guthrie. Check this out. Nancy Guthrie turned 84 on January 27th of this year. And then 4 days later, on January 31st, was the last time that she was seen. Okay, January 31st, 131, the championship number, right? But she was officially reported missing on February 1st, 2026. And I just want to emphasize again that Savannah Guthrie, which is the daughter of Nancy, went to the University of Arizona. Her name equals 84, just like Arizona equals 84, just like how Revenge of the Nerds was released in the year 84. And I'm sure you would recognize that date, Cody, the anniversary of the moon landing. Right? So so a lot that we covered there. One thing I have, and I'll pause there really quick. Rambo, if you had anything else you wanted to add to that, and or Cody.
So I mean, I guess I didn't look as much after this guy died. I was going to look more into all this revenge stuff, but I never really got an opportunity to. But obviously, there's been a theme. And then after this happened, when did that guy even die? I can't even remember when that guy passed away.
February 23rd of this year.
So that was before the attack. Yeah. So yeah, the kind of revenge theme kind of carried out into the attack on Iran, and then of course Iran took a revenge on us, kind of with their attacks, and then I noticed that WWE had an event right after that called, what was it called? Vengeance Day. Then, like right after that, they had a show on their NXT program called Vengeance Day. So just fitting along with the theme, and one of the girls in that had gotten revenge during that. So there's been a huge theme of revenge, especially ever since the Seahawks won the Super Bowl and they got their revenge. That's really been in the news. So
Cody,
and,
it's funny you say that. Sorry, because I had 2 slides here to speak to that war theme. Because for those that haven't seen the movie, really quick, the nerds get kicked out of their dorm room by the jocks, and then now the nerds have to move in to the gymnasium. And this is kind of like the smart guy back, Disney Channel. He's way ahead of his prime, right? So he's in college, but he says it's like we're refugees from a war. So there's even like a war theme there in the movie Revenge of the Nerds. So I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, and like I said, I guess this was probably just this Robert Carradine was foreshadowing this war, and this obviously it was connected with that Nemesio guy in Mexico as well. I still think there's something more to that, but unfortunately, I haven't fully collected my thoughts yet from coming on here and being, but I think that there's definitely something I should look into more with this once I get a chance, at least. And like I said, I have never seen these movies, but I'm sure there's probably a lot of hidden clues in these movies connected to what's going on right now. And then Carradine himself was a part of a huge family of famous people as well. So I looked a little bit into his family, but his father I think even his grandfather were also very famous, and his brothers as well. So, and then we had he was in Lizzie McGuire, so I'm sure there's a Hillary Duff connections there as well. I think she's releasing a new album recently, I thought I saw. So
yeah, no, that Cody, that's a great point, because I touched on it very briefly opening up this presentation. Think about this. I don't think I have a screenshot for it. Maybe we can pull it up in a little bit. But with Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, I'll give you one guess who has now come back into the public spotlight making comments about it. Elizabeth. Smart. Nerds. Smart. Elizabeth. Lizzie McGuire. He played the father of Lizzie, Elizabeth McGuire. Elizabeth Smart, right? One of the most popular I don't know if that's even the right word. One of the most viral disappearances ever. And guess what? She was found reportedly on March 12th. I think it was 2002, March 12th. That is the founding date of the University of Arizona. What are the odds? What are the odds of that, man? Yeah. So Elizabeth Smart, Nancy Guthrie, University of Arizona. And then Rambo, I told you about this too. The only championship Arizona has ever won was against the Kentucky Wildcats. And Nancy Guthrie is a Kentucky Wildcat. Her daughter is an Arizona Wildcat. So there's this just so many synchronicities, man. It's crazy.
Have they even updated? I haven't even looked. Have they ever updated us on Nancy Guthrie recently, or she's still missing, right?
Yes, she's still missing. I didn't have a slide for it too, but they talked about a lot of it has to do with surveillance, and that's another funny part about this whole thing. Maybe not funny. I mean, anybody missing isn't funny, but a big part of this movie is the nerds secretly put surveillance cameras into the sorority house to spy on them, right? And a lot of this investigation about Nancy Guthrie is the surveillance. They're looking at, local street corner cameras and the Ring camera in front of the house. There was a masked man apparently that night, all those things. So it's like there's this camera surveillance theme as well that overlaps with this story.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with this whole thing with Nancy, as I mentioned before in our prior decodes, is I just think that it has something to do with the mother connection this year with Trump's mother and Mother's Day being on her birthday. So I'm still like that period will be obviously there's a huge time frame coming up this next week with the Ides of March. I'm really looking at because there's a lot going on with this year in the Ides of March. But
Bryce's mother is Savannah James.
Savannah. Oh, Bryce James.
Well, yeah, LeBron James's son, right? He's his wife is Savannah. Yep.
Oh.
And he's wearing the nerd glasses. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, man. These two stories. Robert Carradine and Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie, both in Tucson. You got to remember that. Both of these took place. The movie was filmed in Tucson. She went missing in Tucson. I don't know. Very interesting stuff.
And he wears 6, huh?
Yes, he does. He doesn't play. He's a red shirt, so he hasn't played a single minute this year. But if Arizona were to win, he would still technically get a ring.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw my comment, but I talked with you guys a lot about the 923 with LeBron James last week, and 9 is the upside down 6.
I'm glad you brought that up.
And interestingly, something I noticed so is LeBron still in line to break or tie the record on 316?
No.
No, really?
No, he went down with an elbow injury, and when that happened, it looked like he forgot which elbow he hurt.
Interesting. So he's not going to do that now, huh?
I don't think so. Back with Myron, but he sat out 2 games now, and yeah,
of course.
Wow. But look at this, Cody, with the 923 you pointed out. I made this slide because of what you mentioned. Look at this. So from Bryce James, right, who wears number 6 at Arizona, he has Trump's birthday. That ties into everything Rambo talked about with Jack Parsons. You measure from Bryce James's last birthday, up to the championship game this year. If Arizona were to make it to the championship game, it would be exactly 9 months and 23 days after his birthday.
Yeah. Okay. So on the 8th, I had been watching the 8th, and I made a big deal out of it on my channel. On the 7th, I did a video, and I told people watch out for the 8th to to see what would happen in connection. I didn't think William would take over for Charles that day. I mean, I thought it was part of the narrative because that was the day that William V had been born, March 8th, and that was the day that William III and II had died. And that was also Vanderbeek's birthday. So I was like looking at that day, and then the day comes around, and I had told people the night prior, to watch for a narrative possibly in the Middle East with a king or something like that being replaced. And well, I mean, of course, I should have looked more because I missed the obvious one. I mean, I mentioned it would probably happen in the Middle East, but I didn't even think Iran just had. I mean, of course, I knew about the Iran leader, but then they replaced him with his son, and so I didn't. My whole video the other day was about that, and I mean, I was pretty spot on about it because I told people it was all about WrestleMania 42, which is coming up on the former leader of Iran's birthday. Of course, Iran equals 42, and I had laid out a slide on my channel the night before about how King Charles turned 42 months in his reign on the 8th, and then 42 days later is WrestleMania 42. And what ends up happening is the son ends up taking over on Charles' 42nd month, and then 42 days later is his father's birthday. So I actually just had to add the two pictures of the two guys that I was talking about the two dates, and I just had to add the two pictures of the father and the son into my decode, and that's how accurate I was with this prediction. And again, I still think it's an actual foreshadowing of eventually William taking over. But as I've mentioned before, William is born 923 days before LeBron, and March 8th was 9 months and 23 days before LeBron's birthday. So that ended up playing out kind of perfectly. And of course, LeBron James equals 42. So you have even that connection with all the 42s going on. And of course, I talked about how the beast reigns for 42 months in the Bible, which is why March 8th was so significant, because it was the 42 months. And Arizona equals 42 in the same cipher as Charles. And also Kameni equals 42 in that same cipher as well. Of course, those are the last name of the father-son duo. So this 42 is huge.
Yeah, this is the measurement from Carradine's death up to the championship game this year, 42 days. And, I already covered this before you jumped on, but there's another 42 here when you look at the Nerds Candy, right? The official brand of Willy Wonka candy on May 17th. You go from the championship game to May 17th, that's another 42 days. And then May 17th, the date written 175. Arizona Wildcats, Tucson, Arizona, 175. So you got that like Nerds Candy connection here too, with everything.
Yeah, and the fact that he has that 42 with Arizona probably explains a lot of why that's. I didn't know that. I didn't even think about that. So that really could explain a lot. Why this 42 is huge right now with everything going on. Course, with Iran and the war.
Yep. The only other thing I had here, and I'll wrap it up, and I can pass it off to Rambo because I know he's got some good stuff as well. I did just want to point out there's a scene in the movie where the nerds are trying to get initiated into the Alpha Beta fraternity. And only to find out that it was actually filmed at the Tucson Scottish Rite Cathedral. So it was filmed at a Freemasonic temple. As they walk in, you see a sign that says Altar of Sacrifice. And then last thing here, I'll pass it off to you, Rambo. I had to freeze frame this. When the nerds are first moving into campus, here's your hangman symbolism again. I can't get away from that hangman symbolism. I feel like we've been talking about this for years now. But, the jocks hanging nerds over the edge of the fraternity upside down.
Yeah, so one of the meanings of the Hanged Man card, your cards have many different meanings, a wide variety of meanings. and not everybody agrees with certain meanings. Some people are more gifted than others when it comes to tarot reading, but there are some generally accepted meanings. One of the meanings of the Hanged Man card is initiation. So for the entered apprentice in Freemasonry, and this part is just public knowledge, one aspect of the entered apprentice initiation is they have a tether around their neck, which is like sort of like a noose, but it's a tether around the neck, which is why, so then you can understand where the Hanged Man and initiation come in. It's a big part of Freemasonry. The initiation is, you have to, again, public knowledge, you can just type it in, Freemason initiation ritual, and there are pictures, people blindfolded, the left chest, the left breast exposed with a tether. This is common knowledge. That's what the Hanged Man, among many things, the Hanged Man is initiation. So that's actually what is being done there. Yeah, like I told you before the show, yes, there was somebody, I didn't hear them say that, but somebody heard somebody brag about being a Freemason. Unprompted. I mean, I didn't hear it, but somebody told me that this guy just started bragging about the fact that he was a Freemason and how no one else could actually handle the initiation, but he could. And he said, yeah, he described this. He said he offered this. Nobody prompted it. He just started blabbing as I work, He said that he was dangled off the edge of a balcony, basically, by his ankles. He's admitting this. And he's telling people this, he's a tough guy. This is like, most people couldn't handle that, but he could, he said. But he just offered that, which this gives insight into Freemasonry. So that's what this is. They're at the Scottish Rite Temple, and they do this. And I mean, I didn't hear it firsthand, but I talked to someone who heard somebody just spontaneously brag about going through exactly this in his initiation to become a Freemason. Now, this also could be used in MK Ultra. This is a big part of MK Ultra. When you're faced with like a genuine threat of death, when you really believe you might die, like if you're on the top of a high building and you just, without any warning, you're just, thrown over the edge, but they hold you by your ankles, or other scenarios. What can happen is that the human mind will dissociate in order to deal with the trauma. The human mind dissociates when faced with physical or psychological trauma. And that's what they do in MK Ultra. You need someone to dissociate. Once you're in a dissociative state, it's almost like your soul has left your body. It's almost like that, because you don't want to, this is, all humans have this. Some people dissociate easier. In extreme trauma, you will dissociate. So you won't feel the trauma, but it's as if your soul leaves your body. This can be abused. When you're in that dissociated state, that's where in MK Ultra, they will alter personalities. Think of it as there's nobody guarding the fort, which is your body. There's nobody guarding the fort because you've dissociated. Your body is now an empty vessel. Ultra egos can be programmed, or demons can enter, or other spirits can enter, because the body is unguarded, essentially. That can happen. The other positive thing that can happen is that you'll have an out-of-body experience. What you experience when you have an out-of-body experience is what death is like. And once you really experience what death is like, you will no longer fear death. And when you live your life with no fear of death because you've seen what it's like on the other side of the out-of-body experience, you'll take all the risks in the world because death will no longer scare you. That's the positive side of something like this. So you can go either way. You're either going to dissociate and be MK Ultra'd, and they'll put ultra egos into you, or even worse, a demon can enter you, or You'll have an out-of-body experience, but you need a real death experience. It's hard to fake it. You really need to, it really needs to appear that you're going to die. And for some people, not everybody, it doesn't work perfectly with everybody. Some people have an out-of-body experience, and they will see what it's like to leave your body and go to the other side, essentially to die. That experience is not negative, and you will, once you realize that, you'll say, oh, so that's what it's like to die. Well, you don't die. That's the whole point. You don't actually die. Your physical vessel will cease. You will not cease. When you realize that and you've seen it and experienced it firsthand, nobody has told it to you. You've experienced it. You've known what death is like. It's no longer scary. And you will live a life without any fear of death. And you become extremely bold and successful. The one thing the universe rewards more than anything else is courage. When you don't fear death, you will be fearless. And rituals like this can do that if they, again, it's no guarantee. It doesn't happen all the time. That can happen. So yeah, that's a lot that goes into this.
Well, it's like the guy in the movie The Skulls, right? Who he doesn't even accidentally die. He gets hung upside down and he falls, but he's still alive, right? And it's the higher people in that society that actually do end up killing him. You know, he did fall hanging upside down, but he didn't die. So it kind of reminds me with what you were just saying.
Yeah, but for that, there's no benefit. So it wasn't done intentionally. It wasn't it wasn't an initiation. It wasn't. I mean, he actually, even if he didn't die, he was injured. So that's not the same as this at all.
Okay.
They weren't trying to MK Ultra him or put demons into him or induce an out-of-body experience so he can see death and see that death is not scary after all. It wasn't done for any of those reasons. It was an actual accident where he died. So
it was murder.
But it still was an illusion because he was in a secret society headquarters.
Right.
He was in the location of a secret society headquarters. So it was symbolic of the ritual nonetheless, even though he ended up dying. So location that happened, this is part of some rituals. But I'd say it's abused very often. It's actually done more for MK Ultra than for the out-of-body experience, which they may or may not have, which just makes you fearless because you see what death is really like. Not what some religion tells you or some other's testimony. No, you experience it. You've been to the other side. You've left your body. When you come back, you are no longer afraid of death because you realize you don't actually die.
Mike C, AJ, watch the video. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, Mike, but I will. Just let me know what to watch. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, Cody, anything on your end? Rambo, I'm going to pass it off to you. That's all the slides I had for today. Cody, here was the last thing just to show you. LeBron's spouse is Savannah, you know, and now you have Savannah Guthrie's mother missing in Tucson. Savannah and LeBron's kid, Bryce, is playing in Tucson. You know what I mean? So there's definitely something going on here with the Savannah stuff, but I don't have anything else to mention about that.
I don't have anything right now. I'm trying to figure out more about what I'm going to share. I'll let Rambo go, but I just was going to say, I was just looking quickly at LeBron. I mean, I don't know when he'll play next, but I think, you know, he possibly, I mean, if he starts playing tonight, I guess he was close to playing, so maybe he'll play the next game, which is against the Bulls, interestingly enough. So he could tie the record on March 20th, which is interesting. That is the Thelema New Year, and that's when supposedly when Crowley's wife, you know, declared the whatever they call that. I can't remember. I can never remember the name of it, but it's basically the New Year. It's also Barron Trump's birthday, which is interesting because Barron's middle name is William. And there's definitely something going on with that. Somebody had read a comment to me earlier about Barron Trump recently investing in oil, which is also interesting because all the oil stuff going on. Definitely seems like we're heading towards that great reset, energy reset that they've been talking about. So, but yeah, we'll see with LeBron. But I'm definitely interested now to see what date it's going to end up landing on. The 316 would have been perfect.
Yeah,
for a lot
that
of
one
reasons.
surprised me. Yeah.
But I will mention that 316 is an important date still because this is the day that 3i Atlas will be making its closest approach to Jupiter. And supposedly we've been getting meteor shower. We've been getting, I don't know if you guys saw these stories, but in Germany, I heard this because I was staying there. Even when it was still happening, there was a meteor that came down and supposedly hit somebody's house. So in Germany, I think it was not so far from me from where I stay. And that was supposedly because that was from the debris field of AI Atlas when it was closest to Earth and the sun, which was in December, which is interesting because in Donnie Darko, a plane comes and hits his house. And remember that closest approach to 3i Atlas for the Earth was on Jake Gyllenhaal's birthday. And so the meteor actually crashes into somebody's house, kind of reminding you of the movie. And then again, Jupiter is when it's going to be closest on 316 which is interesting because it's the Ides of March, the one day before that. And the Ides are in tribute to Jupiter. Of every month, the Ides are connected to Jupiter. So I was looking, that my next decode is probably going to be about that. I still have some stuff to put together, but some huge stuff going on the Ides of March this year and all that. So I'll let Rambo go for now.
Yeah, March 16th is also the birthday of Joseph Mengele. And Elon Musk has been compared to Joseph Mengele. There's speculation, it's not proven, that his Neuralink has been experimented on with some of these detainees that ICE has picked up in some of these ICE detention centers. It has been speculated, not definitively proven, that the Neuralink that he's promoting has been used on ICE detainees at the detention centers, which is just like a Nazi concentration camp. This is the MO of Nazis. He did the full-on Nazi salute at Trump's inauguration, standing behind the lectern with the seal of the President of the United States. He did the full-on Nazi salute. This wasn't, sometimes you'll click a picture, somebody's pointing, or you just catch them at the right moment. Their hand looks like they're doing the salute. No, this is video, blatant. So 316, with all the Nazi coding, and I've been showing that long before this, I've been talking about the Nazi code and 119 and how they didn't lose World War II. Germany lost it. The Nazis did not lose World War II. They have existed, still existed, with trillions of dollars, which they laundered, thanks to the work of Joseph P. Farrell. I'm surprised more people had not been doing work on that. 316, or 16th March, and 163, it's a big mind control number too, is Joseph Mengele's birthday. So I wonder if Elon Musk will be in the news for that day, or there'll be so much Nazi coding going around. So that's
holy smokes, you guys. I don't mean to cut us off. I know we were about
to talking about the record break that somebody just posted in the chat.
Yes, Casey. Oh my God. Casey Jones, Astrology, Kobe's 81-point record was just broken tonight. So someone in the NBA, Bam Adebayo, I just pulled it up, 83 points. He just scored 83 points against the Washington Wizards.
Does he play for the Heat?
Yes. Or at least I think.
Well, first of all, his name is Bam, like something crashing. He scored 83 points. Is that his official total, or is the game over?
Hold on. I think he's still with. Hold on. This is big. This is big. Hold on. He plays. Yeah, he's with the Heat. The game's over now.
83 though.
Yeah, he scored 83.
That's the gematria of collapse. And I want you guys to look at the logo for the Heat. It looks like a collapsing comet. I just talked about the comments, and his name is Bam, like something when it crashes, it makes a bam, right? This has got to be something with the Ides of March in the markets, I think. I mean, this is like a fireball coming down, Satan crashing, also symbolism. Like, just look at the logo. I mean, if you can pull that up, AJ, it's literally a crashing fireball, and the 83 is the gematria of collapse.
I just passed it to you, Rambo. So you have the screen, my friend, and we can see everything that you're funneling.
Oh,
through.
okay, yeah. So that was abrupt. I didn't realize all of a sudden it was back on me.
Oh no, you're good. I don't want to put you on the spot. I'm just saying.
KODI was still talking. I didn't realize.
No, it's cool.
I was kind of looking some other stuff up, but okay.
KODI, you can request your screen if you want.
No, I'll show my presentation. So my screen is on because I can't see the.
I just turned it off. But no, I just figured we should talk about this Bam Adebayo thing, because it's not every day you pass an 81-point career scoring record by Kobe. Isn't that interesting too? In the year 26, Bryant equals 26.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, his name equals his common name his real name is much longer, but the name he goes by equals 201. So of course there's a 201 there. Also equals 33, and it equals eclipse. Bam Adebayo. So yeah, every time I've seen this guy, when I've decoded this guy before a little bit, and I always think Bam, like crashing, explosions, and I think about how he wears the Miami Heat's logo is like a crashing comet looking thing. So
makes me think of Bam Bam from the Flintstones.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, this guy equals Texas in multiple ciphers.
So actually, he was named Bam Bam by his mother after the Flintstones character. Yeah,
kind of like going back to the Stone Age, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. Interesting.
So, yeah.
Nice observation, Maggie. She says that 201 days since Kobe's birthday tomorrow. So if
you know what's interesting too,
yeah.
Today's Bad Bunny's birthday. He scored 83 points on Bad Bunny's birthday. Bad Bunny equals 83.
That's right.
Again, your connection to the crashing comet or the crashing plane into the house of Donnie Darko, the Bad Bunny.
Wow. Wow. He had 43 points.
I don't know if we should definitely let Rambo get to his presentation. I mean,
no, for sure. I just wanted to carve out a couple minutes here. We can dive into this because this is definitely not something that happens every day. That's for sure.
No, I mean, this is a big thing. So definitely not what I was expecting to be talking about today. But that's when did Kobe set the record again? What was that? 2006.
Yep, January 22nd. Yep.
47 days after the anniversary of Kobe. That's the first thing I see. 20 years and 47 days. That's a long time. 20 years, 47 days.
Well, think about it. It was in 2006, and then now in 2026, that record gets surpassed. I mean, the only other player to score more than that was Wilt Chamberlain with 100.
Interestingly enough, 2006 is also the year Barron Trump was born. I was just talking about Barron Trump. But yeah, the Bad Bunny thing is interesting.
We can curb this Bam Adebayo thing to later in the stream. But yeah, I think with everything that I already touched on with Revenge of the Nerds, Nancy Guthrie, Tucson, Arizona, and I think that would be a good segue over into what Rambo has for us today. So Rambo, without further ado, brother, you have the stage. Floor is yours.
I need to explain
Yeah, I
what
was
I'm
gonna
doing.
say, I
I
was
can't
like,
explain it. Like there should be an explanation first, right?
Yeah.
This is it's an intro to a video that I'm doing, which is a follow-up to my first video on Patreon, which was titled Dancing with the Devil, which was based primarily on the connection between Donald Trump and Jack Parsons. And the main connection is the infamous letter by Aleister Crowley to another member of his Order of Thelema, where Aleister Crowley is talking about the fact that he disapproves of what Jack Parsons is doing with L. Ron Hubbard, which is invoking an antichrist moon child. And the fact that letter was dated for the very day, the exact day on which Donald Trump was born, which was a full moon. Again, a moon child. It was a full moon and a blood moon, which is a lunar eclipse. And that's the main connection of Donald Trump to Jack Parsons. And I explained earlier in the show why Jack Parsons is so significant. There's other significance. His initials, Jack Parsons, JP, JPL, Jet Propulsion Lab, Jack Parsons Labs. I had looked earlier last year for Jack Parsons tributes. Parsons, this Parsons was the big trade in the National Football League with Micah Parsons, the best. I mean, yeah, he's more or less the best or one of the best defensive players in the entire NFL. And it made no sense. Why would the Dallas Cowboys give up one of the best players, defensive players in the NFL? Why would you do that? But they did that. And that was the big story. But it put Parsons in the headlines in the NFL. And I thought of Alan Parsons. Alan Parsons Project did the song "Serious," which is became the theme song for the Chicago Bulls and the Michael Jordan Bulls dynasty. So Parsons is a big theme. So also his initials, Jack Parsons, JP. Where's there a JP in the news? Yes, Jake Paul. He had 2 fights. JP. Tributes to Jack Parsons. So with the moon landing, has a crater on the dark side of the moon named after Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons fought Mike Tyson on a full moon, under a full moon in Dallas, the home of Micah Parsons' Dallas Cowboys, before they traded him. Jake Paul, fought Mike Tyson, who's a cancer ruled by the moon, under a full moon that night. His next major fight was against Anthony Joshua at the time of a new moon. It's always so Jake Paul is always synced with the moon. And because of the JP initials, he even has a tattoo of what looks like the moonwalk. It looks like a NASA astronaut on the moon. So Jake Paul is part of the Jack Parsons symbolism. And there's more Jack Parsons tributes. There are a lot more. I talk about some of them in my video, which will be, so this is a part 2, and I have a lot more. I don't know if I'll even get to all of it. This is part 2 of Dancing with the Devil. And I have to shout out one of my patrons, Elizabeth. No, sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. This has been, we've been throwing that name around. Janet B. Sorry, Janet. Janet B. Huge shout out. She pointed me to the series on CBS about Jack Parsons. This is on the Peacock streaming service about Jack Parsons. And if not for Janet telling me about this, that's a big part of this, the part 2 to the part 1. So yeah, that's the background to this. This is called, it's part 2 to Dancing with the Devil. It's called Jack Fell Down, which is a line from the famous nursery rhyme. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. If you're familiar with all the tarot imagery that I've been referring to, the Tower card has a similar imagery to that line from the fairy tale. A nursery rhyme. Nursery rhymes have esoteric meanings. Jack fell down and broke his crown. So that's the title, Jack Parsons. That's the context, and I'll show. It's a trailer. So this is the intro. It's 4 minutes, I think 22 seconds long.
Hey, Rambo,
Yep.
quick pause. I think I saw a small little mic, with the sound out. I don't think any of us heard any sound.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think at the bottom there should be a little I think the bottom left there.
Bottom left,
like on the actual video, there's that little mic sound.
this right here.
Yeah, I see that it is on full. But when you hit play, actually, if you hit play, you should see really closely. There's a small little icon that, from what I saw when you went full screen, it had a little X over the sound.
I mean, I don't know. Did
Can you hear anything now?
No.
No sound. Okay.
You might have to go back and hit the blue cursor button when you share your screen. Maybe you didn't hit that, because when you share your screen, if you don't hit
yeah.
no sound.
No, that good call, Cody. So hey, Rambo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the screen, and then if you can just stop share on your side really quick. There you go. And then when you reshare, like I showed you, when you hit entire screen, make sure that you select the thumbnail, right? So you can see the share button, but also at the bottom, this is what I learned that time when I played the intro and there was no sound. Even below the share, there's a little tab where you want to click that to make sure to turn on the
I think I'll just do the single screen, because I don't think, because we thought Cody wasn't going to be here and I was going to have to do more of a presentation. So I'll just go with the single screen like we usually do.
That's fine.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to just point out with the whole Jack Parsons, Jack Hughes things we talked about, and then now you're talking about Jack fell down and broke his crown. Think about Jack Hughes broke the crown in his teeth, or now he needs new crowns, right?
Okay, yeah,
so there's like that crown in your teeth kind of.
I don't know. I can't help but think that the Miami Heat logo looks like a crown and something crashing down. that's
yeah. It's a fireball, essentially, is what it is.
It looks like the hoop looks like a ring, which kind of reminds you of a crown, and then the ball going. I just thought that was interesting. That,
I mean, the imagery is very similar to that of the tower in tarot.
Yeah,
the tower there represents Mars. So tower symbolism is very prevalent right now. But okay, I'll do it this way, like we usually do. I don't think I need a word.
Yeah, it should work. I'll let you know if we can't hear it. But
okay,
we'll start from the beginning. There we go. We're good.
Okay. Good. From 2018 to 2019, CBS's Peacock streaming service ran a biographical series about Jack Parsons titled Strange Angel. The name Jack is associated with angels, the fallen ones. Jack is a form of Jacob. Jacob is known for the biblical narrative of Jacob's ladder, where he envisioned a ladder to heaven which angels ascended and descended. The fall, in many cases, can be preceded by a jump. The rabbit is associated with the jump. Alice in Wonderland features the rabbit. And the fall. Alice is a fallen angel. Alice is a strange angel. A rabbit-shaped pareidolia is on the face of the near side of the moon, which has a crater on its far side or dark side named Parsons, after Jack Parsons. The trailer for Strange Angel emphasizes dark side for this reason. Think of the Jack Rabbit. Jump is the title of the rock pop classic by Van Halen, a #1 Billboard chart hit from their album 1984. That on its cover art featured a baby angel, who is the rebellious angel Lucifer as per Paradise Lost, and the cigarette is the Lucifer symbol, the light. Baby Lucifer on Van Halen's 1984 album cover, whose biggest hit was Jump. The jump precedes the fall, looks like a baby Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the strange angel. The strange angel, Jack Parsons, was named Frater 210 in Aleister Crowley's Order of Thelema, and as Crowley referred to him in his letter dated for the very day of the birth of Donald Trump, a day of a blood moon, full moon, condemning Frater 210 Jack Parsons for attempting to induce an Antichrist moon child. From Donald Trump's most recent birthday before the release of Van Halen's 1984, with what looks like a baby Donald Trump as a baby Lucifer fallen angel on its cover, to the album's release on January 9th, 1984, is a total span of 210 days. Frater 210.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Ooh, I wonder. Ooh, I just wonder. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, that's the trailer.
Awesome as always, Rambo. True Baller gives you a mind-blowing emoji. I did want to also shout out Miss Snarnd. Just a reminder that there is this animation movie coming out called Hoppers.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I would just look into
consciousness. Okay.
Yeah.
People in the chat have been mentioning a lot of interesting things. Bam Adebayo crash 83 points, which is a gematria of collapse, which is like a fall. And he's did this on Bad Bunny's birthday. And when you think about basketball players, they jump.
Yep.
That's all they do is jump. That's what they do.
Yeah. The Michael Jordan, the famous Michael Jordan Air Jordan logo is Jumpman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he ties it, yeah.
So I just feel like what just happened right now as we're live fits perfectly with Rambo's thing, you know, like it just fallen. The basketball in the Miami logo looks like a fallen angel. Like I just can't get over that. As soon as I saw that this guy broke the record, I was like, I was thinking about fallen angels and collapses. That's what I was thinking of when I originally heard it, especially with the 83 points. And it's clearly tied to Bad Bunny because 83 is the gematria of Bad Bunny. So, and I keep thinking of Damar Hamlin, how when he collapsed, his birthday is the 83rd day of the year, March 24th. So, which is not Jack Parsons, but what's the other Parsons from Big Bang Theory? Big Bang, bam. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is clearly tied. Like, I'm realizing as the more I talk, this is exactly what we're talking about. What's the name? What's the Jim Parsons? Jim Parsons, his birthday is the same day as Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin born the 83rd day of the year. Collapse equals 83. Yeah, I just feel like this is also about the markets. I feel like this month could finally be the month that we get some sort of, I mean, with the oil stuff going on and all that. I don't know. I just feel.
Yeah, no, that was a good one, man. Big Bang Theory. Nerds.
Yeah, I did make a reference to Jim Parsons in the first video that I did, Dance with the Devil. I did show Jim Parsons there. I also shout out Casey Jones, aka Heart Chakra, Bobby Simpson. He's the one who made the initial connection with the song Jump by Van Halen.
Well, and think about Arizona, the air up there, right? I know that's not Michael Jordan's, but they call him Air Jordan, Arizona, right? You know, you got that alignment. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Rainbow. My bad.
No, you didn't cut me off. Yeah, the BAM tying into Jack Parsons. I keep making that mistake. Jack Parsons, Big Bang Theory, Jim Parsons. Yeah, that's interesting. The BAM.
I couldn't help but notice that Bam has Femi in his name. And Femi is the name of the new star wrestler in WWE, Oba Femi. He's going to be the next big guy. He'll probably, I just have a feeling this guy, Oba Femi, will end up being probably one of the most, he'll be like the next Roman Reigns type character. He's called the Ruler. And it reminds me of Obama, Oba Femi. But yeah, I just noticed that Bam Adebayo's middle name is Femi. So
yeah, that's a very common name in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah. Oba Femi. Yeah, that'd be like an American having the last name of Williams or Johnson or something.
Yeah. Okay.
You know. Yeah. So yeah, that's the equivalent. It's as far as maybe somebody in the news with that name who has some Nigerian descent, the odds of them having the same last name are pretty high. It's again, it's like, you know, Johnson, you know, in English. Yeah. That's how common it is.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, I think that with Oba Femi just now starting to take off, and then you have this guy breaking the record, I'll have to look into see how these two guys are tied, but I'm pretty sure that this is still part of the Ruler, like that's what they're calling this Oba Femi, and he's absolutely a monster. This guy too. He's throwing 300-pound men's like they're babies in the last episode of Raw the other night. He threw a 300-pound man in the air like at least 7 feet across the ring. Man, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, I mean this is a big story. There's gonna be a lot of codes following up on this for sure. I'll be curious to see the highlight video of this. I mean, because Bam isn't really even like a 3-point shooter. You know, Kobe popped a lot of threes in his 81-point game. I'm guessing he went to the free throw line quite a bit, but either way,
he scored 83 points. The rest of his team scored 67. Isn't that interesting with all the 6-7s going?
There you go.
Yeah, so 6-7 is a big number, which is significant to the fallen angels.
Mm-hmm.
It was you, AJ, who pointed me to that South Park episode, which is titled Twisted Christian, where they had Peter Thiel showing up at their school doing a presentation where Peter Thiel, and I talk about this in my the decodes I've been doing, and the one I just showed the intro for, where in that episode of South Park, Peter Thiel visits the school and talks to the school, and he talks about, this is South Park talking about this now, Donald Trump and the devil producing a moonchild. And that was the 6-7 video, which you talked about, where the principal says, he refers to 6-7 as satanic numerology. And then you did the gematria of satanic, and it came to 6-7. So 6-7 is tied to, and they show, and I showed in my video too, Donald Trump's face next to the famous illustration of Lucifer, the fallen angel, after being kicked out of heaven, from John Milton's Paradise Lost. This is why 6-7 ties into the whole satanic theme, fallen angels theme, because Paradise Lost was published in 1667. That is what it is referring to. That's what the 6-7 refers to. It's the 1667 when Paradise Lost was published. So the devil, fallen angel, Satan, it's a similar theme. Who founded the Church of Satan? Anton LaVey. How long did he live to officially? 67 years old. So at the time, 6-7 is a big thing. It's officially word of the year for 2025. 6-7 was considered word of the year for 2025 at the time that the current leader of the Church of Satan, Peter Gilmore, is 67 years old. This goes back to Paradise Lost and the fall of Lucifer, which was published in 1667. That's where that 6-7 comes in. So it makes sense that crashing meteor, which is what the Miami Heat logo is, that fall, is depicting a fall. Yeah, it makes perfect sense that the rest of the team would score 6-7.
Yeah, I mean, ties right back in with LeBron, right? With all the 666 connections. We won't even go down that rabbit hole, pun intended. But yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I noticed that Bam did this 236 days after his birthday. 236.
You want to show your screen, Cody? If you had anything, or actually, before we do that, Rambo, I'll give it back to you here, brother. I'm not sure if you had anything else besides the video to share. I just want to make sure that we all have.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
you're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, great one by wait, hold on.
Chirac.
Yeah, Chirac. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me put that in there, and I can pull it unless you already have it, AJ.
No, I don't have it. I got to step out for a hot second, but I'll be right back. I just want to pass it to you, Cody, so you have the screen.
Oh, okay. Hold on. 1 second here. I'm all out of sorts today. I wasn't. I normally have my screen on another slide, and
you're good, man. No worries.
Let's see. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. There you go. So it is interesting too that if you take Bam Adebayo's whole name, it equals Trump's birthday, 14/6. But yeah, his name equals 130, and this is a number Rambo has talked about with Trump, and I've also talked about. This is a big number, 130. But also Marvel, Whiteside, Parsons has the 130. So interesting. And 130 is the Can't remember what was about that 130. I know Rambo, you've talked a lot about that. So
Yeah, so put in upside down.
oh, upside.
Okay, the screen. Remember when Trump said, "I am Batman"? Obviously, the bat hangs upside down, and yeah, so the bat hangs upside down. 130 is a reference to Donald Trump saying, "I am Batman," because the bat hangs upside down. But if you look at the Elizabethan, the simple Elizabethan symbol, and type in Donald Trump. The 130. So 130's come up. So when Donald Trump went on trial for the hush money with the porn actress Stormy Daniels, the amount of money, the hush money that she was given was $130,000. There's another story. This is after Trump's first presidency. He visited Scotland, and a Scottish security guard had to foot the bill for a McDonald's order, which it's all ritualistic. That makes no sense. The bodyguard is the only one who had money, and he paid for Trump and his entourage at a golf course for McDonald's meals. And the reason it made the news is allegedly Donald Trump did not pay him back. And he paid $130. So Donald Trump owes this Scottish bodyguard supposedly $130. There's another anecdote which I came across where a waitress said she served Donald Trump and his group at a restaurant, and that their bill was $1,300, $1,300. So that 130 keeps repeating. If you look up, so there was a recent assassination. Trump wasn't there. He was in Washington, D.C. at Mar-a-Lago. If you want to look this up, the name Austin Martin, say Austin Martin Mar-a-Lago, and just see the Austin Martin. I forgot his middle name. Mar-a-Lago. So, yeah, so he maybe on a Wikipedia will have this detail on him if you can find the Wikipedia link. If you want to just guess or randomly guess at what time officially he showed up at Mar-a-Lago with a shotgun, even though Trump wasn't there.
1:30.
Unless they changed it. Oh, they changed it. But still, 138 isn't that still a Trump number? They changed it. Yeah. So this is why you got to take. I had a feeling they changed it. I said it ahead of time. Initially, they had it as 130. It's the same thing with the guy in the pink shirt who they said wanted to assassinate Trump. This is the second attempt. Initially, they said that was at 1:30 p.m. and then they added one number. They changed it to 1:31. But initially, they said this was 1:30. But anyway, so that's the 1:30 with Trump. I think primarily it is the Elizabethan Francis Bacon of Donald Trump, which is 1:30. That's the main thing. Yeah, there's the 138. Yeah, so they went from 130 to 138. So either way, they still stayed true to gematria. They used both Francis Bacon and the whatever you want to call regular modern alphabet, the gematria. Oh, there's another thing too. The goaltender, who is the big hero for the USA hockey team, and you know how they're connected to Trump, and they showed up at the State of the Union address for Trump. So the U.S. hockey team is attached at the hip with Donald Trump, And the hero goaltender, I'm not sure how to spell his name, Hellebuck. If she just and Hellebuck actually took his gold medal off. I believe it was Hellebuck. It might not have been Hellebuck. Somebody put their gold medal over Trump's on his shoulders at the White House. I don't know if the Hellebuck, but Trump singled out Hellebuck. If you just look up, I don't know his name. If that's it, just look up just Wikipedia, just to look at his bio, because I don't know his first name. I don't know if you can find that. Yeah, Hellebuck. Yeah. So he is connected at the hip with Connor Hellebuck. So look at where he was drafted. If you just kind of scroll down, 100. There you go. You found it. 130th. You see, because he's connected to Trump. And there's your Trump in 130 again. And this is based on this is the importance of the Elizabethan Francis Bacon. They're also called Rosicrucian ciphers. Donald Trump is 130. That's why there's so much 130 attached to him.
Where'd Cody go? Did I? Huh. It's all right. I'll take over.
What was the original 130 again? That KODI.
Let me find it. It was like a Marvel connection. We've actually had a few people. Jessica Lynn throws out a 130. Washington. Good one. Here we go. It was this one. Andres Femi Adebayo 130. Marvel Whiteside Parsons 130. There was also for what it's worth, Whiteside reminds me of Hassan Whiteside, who played for the Miami Heat. He's not on the team anymore, but
okay. Yeah, if he played for the Heat, that's relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the majority of his career. He played for the Heat. What's up, Codes? It looks like he dropped off for a quick second. I don't know if he can hear us. But before I forget, I just wanted to shout out Slouch. Shout out to you, Slouch. I know you dropped this super chat a while ago, man. I'm so sorry for not acknowledging it sooner. But thank you so much. Seriously. I know you said earlier that you were looking forward to this stream. Hopefully you're still sticking around, and I am going to get back to your text after this stream. I look forward to reconnecting with you, brother. Thank you so much for the work that you do, man. Cody, can you hear us? I guess not. I feel like I can hear him.
I think he can hear us. So you can hear him? Because he was responding to what
I'm hearing like a click or a tap or something. And unless that's you, I don't know.
Oh, that might be me.
Either way, yeah, let me
testing 1 2 testing.
There we go. There we go. We can hear you, Codes. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I hear you. I was talking, but I was wondering why you guys couldn't hear me. But I hit the button on my laptop that turns off my mic, so a lot of malfunctions going on here.
It's all good. It's all good.
So anyway, yeah, I was just gonna shout out Sirach in the chat again. He mentioned that Iran equals 130 as well. So, yeah, it's a big number. I think George W. Bush also equals 130. Skull and Bones 130. Washington equals 130. So yeah, he did this. Did he do this in Washington? Or he was doing this against Washington. I don't know if it was in Washington, but
no, it was not.
It's clearly connected to Trump.
It was in Miami.
It was in Miami. Okay. I mean, that's just clearly connected to the same theme with Trump and being in. I mean, Trump's Mar-a-Lago is not far from Miami, so, and of course Bad Bunny, with it today being his birthday. What birthday is it today for Bad Bunny?
Mr. S, I stand corrected. Bam hit 7 threes. So, wow. I figured you can't get a career high like that, get up into the 80s without hitting some threes. without bamming some threes. So yeah, I haven't looked at the stat sheet.
So I mean, here's another Alan. Sorry, I make that mistake a lot. Jack Parsons connection. So 37 is big with Jack Parsons because he lived. You could say he lived to age 37 or he died at age 37. So that's a big part of it. His age. Because he's Frater 210. I showed that stat. Frater 210, as Aleister Crowley referred to him, from Donald Trump's 1983 birthday to 10 days later was the release of Jump by Van Halen, which looks like, you know, a Donald Trump as a baby Lucifer. And that ties in with the 210. I mean, Trump's already connected to Jack Parsons. But 210 days between Donald Trump's birthday and the release of the album, that was Donald Trump's 37th birthday, which makes it more significant, which is more of a Jack Parsons connection. He died at age 37, lived to age 37. The Jack Parsons crater on the moon is located at, or you could say on the 37th parallel on the moon. It's 37 degrees north. North or south, but it's on the 37th parallel of the moon. They did that consciously. They took a crater that was located on the 37th parallel because Jack Parsons lived to age 37. So 30 again, it was Donald Trump's 37th birthday. That was 210, Frater 210, Jack Parsons, from the release of before the release of the album 1984. By Van Halen. And the other 37, I think there's another those are the main 37.
Well, Rambo, if I can just piggyback off of what you were just saying, going back to the Revenge of the Nerds, 1984, that's the year that Revenge of the Nerds came out, right? We know it was released on the anniversary date of the moon landing, but think about Frater. It's the first half of fraternity. And that's what the whole movie is about. It's about the nerds trying to create their own fraternity and go against the alpha betas and all that kind of stuff. So, and we know that fraternities are all about brotherhood and, you know, Freemasonry and all that kind of stuff. So just want to throw that in there.
Yeah.
So Bam, I got my screen up, AJ, real fast, but Bam had a bio.
Yeah.
Born 3 years, 130 days after Bad Bunny.
Wow.
Well, so and shout out to Iraq. 130. There you go. 130 days from Bam's birthday.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's not only is he born 130 days after Bad Bunny, you know, well, that's gonna be the same, of course. But yeah, that just makes it more significant since he did it on Bad Bunny's birthday. And think about going this back to Batman, Trump. You know, Bam, like, you know how the comic books always show Batman and the word in the
Are you getting that cut out, Rambo?
Yes, I am.
Hello?
Hey, Codes.
What happened there?
It just got a little choppy. Would you mind repeating what you just said?
I kind of wanted to show it so people could see what I mean. Batman comic Bam.
Well, it makes me think about Batman's skull and bones, and Bam Bam holds a bone, doesn't he? In the Flintstones.
Right.
Yep.
But you guys know what I mean here, like what I got up on the screen, like how when Batman punches somebody, it's like Bam.
Yeah, exactly. Comic.
Yeah. So
that's right. Apache also, hey, that's something to just make note of. Think about Bam Margera of Jackass. Jackass is just coming out with a new movie. Bam Margera, he's in recovery, and he's one of the main faces of the Jackass MTV show back in the day. Their headquarters is in the Masonic Temple. in LA. But yeah, that's a good one, Apache. Thank you.
Somebody in the chat saying that Albanian internet. Yeah. Did have that problems with the Albanian internet sometimes.
Holy smokes. Jesuit Code says Bam made 36 free throws. He made 36. What? Okay, hold on. Oh my god, man. I got all right. I gotta pull up this stat sheet. 30 he made 36 free throws. Are you kidding? What? How long was this game? Like 4 hours? Oh my god, man. All right, so Bam's stat sheet was 42 minutes. There's your 42. We talked about that. 83 points. He was 20 for 43 from the field. 7 for 22 from 3. Oh my God, man. He was 36 of 43 free throws. This dude shot 43.
How many people fouled out of the game?
That's what I'm saying, dude. What? One player. This is one player who shot 43 free throws.
That's
dude, the Wizards shot 29 as a team. Dude, I don't even think Shaq's ever taken that many free throws back in the day. In the Hack-a-Shaq era. Wow.
Notice how free throws equals 133, like Bad Bunny. That's interesting.
Government, White House.
Like president, White House, government against Washington. Again, Washington equals 130. The other big number here.
He shot 43 free throws like Florida.
But yeah, free throws equal.
Miami equals 36.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. Miami, Florida. Wow.
Free throw, huh?
That's unbelievable.
Something free.
Oh my God.
I've always talked about how Miami is a symbol for the I am also. Something there.
Well, it reminds me of Free Guy.
Yeah. Open Up says it was scripted joke of a game. Yeah. Obviously. How you get...
I'm going to look up what's the most free throws shot in an NBA game.
He was picked 14th overall, but he wears 13. So there's your 130 again, essentially. And, you know, there's a 13 connection from Kobe's record to today. If you go 122, 2006 to today, it's 20 years, 47 days. That's the 13th pentagonal number. So Bam, number 13, breaks the record, 20 years, 47 days, like 247, which is 13th pentagonal number. I think that's basically a lot of 13s here. A lot of 130s, 13s.
I got one for you, Cody. Check this out. I'm going to take the screen for a second here. You guys will like this one. So I just did a quick search. What was the most free throws shot ever in an NBA game? And of course, it's updated now. It is Bam Adebayo with 43, right? But look at this. He surpassed Adrian Dantley with 28 free throws attempts. That reminds of the Super Bowl. Bad Bunny, 2-8, February 8th, right? But look at the year. We've been talking about 1984 a lot today. Wow.
Yep. LeBron James.
Yep. Revenge of the Nerds. Wow.
Today is also 20 years and 48 days after Kobe broke the record, 248. Kobe.
This is crazy, man.
I mean, 13 is his
yeah.
jersey number.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. 13 is Bam's jersey number. Yeah. But yeah, this Kobe's numbers right there, essentially 2, 24, and 8. There might be something else also. But yeah, the Bad Bunny thing seems to be, and think about today's date. Today's date is like 103. So not far off from 130 and 113. And so this seems
it's the
to be
27th prime, like ritual.
Yeah. Just in general, though, it seems to be a lot of 13. Just in general, 13 seems to be the huge.
Oh my goodness!
Did
you guys touch on this when I left? Cody, type in 83 as a word.
Oh really? Oh yeah. Hold on.
Did we do this?
I don't know if I did this.
I stepped out. Look at this. 83. There's your 130 and 67. Boom.
Wait. So yeah. So his team scored 67.
There you go.
Points and he scored 83, and that equals 1. Gosh.
Ooh.
You see what I mean? It's you got to type in numbers. I've been doing that recently now because I've realized, with this new tool also that Kate created, when it gives you can just click on a number and it gives you all the gematria right here of that number. And I've just noticed as I've been doing decodes and seeing these numbers below here, I'm telling you, this tool is like takes everything to the next level because you can see everything in one. And I've just noticed some interesting gematria when I type out numbers. Like,
just like Maggie said, I pretty much learned that from you too, Coach. Like typing out the words or the numbers as words.
Well, Derek is the one who pioneered that for sure, because Derek's been doing that for. See, before this tool, I was just too lazy always to go through every number that I was pumping and pulling up and seeing what it equaled. But now every time I type in a number, I can see right here in this tool what it all equals. So I was like, I can just quickly glance and see if there's a number I see. For instance, 7,353 equals 176. It also equals 419, which is the 81st prime number. And so you see, like this is just, this isn't like, this is a bit more speculative in general, but
he's chopping up again. You hear that, Rambo?
Yeah, he's
you get that
breaking up again.
I think he's back.
Hello,
Cody, can you repeat the last thing you just said? Sorry, I think you chopped up.
Yeah. So I was just saying that, when you type in the amount of days between the Kobe record, 81 points, and the Bam record, it's 7,353 days. That equals 419. That's the 81st prime.
Oh, wow.
So, what's the odds?
That's perfect.
So, like I said, typing in number and just having this tool to be able to quickly see the numbers real fast is nice. That's why this is definitely something to this.
Shout out to Visionary Vet too, that just said, do they want a 1984? Because that was 42 years ago. So there's another 42 alignment. That's what we've been talking about on the 42s, at least.
Yep. Let's see.
Hey, Bam Bam equals 130 as well. Are you serious?
Bam Bam equals 130? No.
Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Whoo. I'm gonna start getting the giggles here soon. This is starting to get crazy, man.
Yeah, like I said, this is like on live. This is why I like, I'm glad we got to do this live. People can see kind of the process and how things come together and how perfectly it lines up and how undeniable it is once you really start just trying to think of some more 130s, because I talked about this number before myself, and let me just see what I have in my history of 130s, because I'm sure there's more connections with this number.
So another 130 was the shooting by Matthew Crooks at Butler, Pennsylvania. They say he shot at Trump from 130 yards away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 130 yards away. So, okay, this is the Elizabethan of Donald Trump. That's what this is based on.
Yep. Oh, we're in the year of the red fire horse, which equals 130. The equinox of the gods has come. That's interesting because that's the line that Crowley's wife said when on 320, she declared the equinox of the gods has come, which equals 130. And it's interesting too because King Charles, Prince Andrew equals 130. He just obviously got in trouble, and King Charles, headline that they said King Charles said about that, it said law must take its course, which equals 130. Of course, in Thelema, it's all about law, the book of the law, that kind of thing. So
I got another 210 for you guys.
210
connected to Jack Parsons.
Yeah, well, I mean, but with the Frater 210, right? I mean, it seems like all of this is connecting, but this just made me think about Bam Margera. We recently just mentioned that one of the bigger faces on Jackass. There's a new movie coming out of Jackass, but if you measure from today's date, March 10th, 2026, back to Bam Margera's last birthday, September 28th, 2025. It's 163 days, which is the 38th prime, the reflection of 38. And 163 is also, or is it 210 is the 163rd composite?
210.
Yeah. So
yeah,
there you go. Yep. I mean, I found that in like 10 seconds. Just with what Rambo's been talking about with the 210s.
Obviously, the composite numbers have grown to be completely relevant as well. So yeah, what's the 130th composite? Hold on. Oh, 98. I just saw 98. Oh, 130 equals 1248. That's the tower in Latin. So kind of a tower collapse symbolism again, because that 1248 is a huge number with the tower. I mean, Bobby Simpson has talked about that extensively, 1248, the tower. So the fact that the number 130 equals 1248 is interesting. I think Bobby had mentioned earlier in the chat that today is 210 days after I think today is 210 days. I think he had said after August 12th, which Bobby had talked about a couple years ago. August 12th was a big tower day. Yeah, today is 210 days after August 12th. So But yeah, that's I'm sure there's a lot more.
Oh yeah.
But it's just crazy how Rambo was going to talk about this, and it seems like everything in this record break is tied in with the. Because I mean, Jack Parsons' full name also equals 130, so that's.
Yeah, the BAM is a big part of it. He's associated with explosions. He actually died in an explosion as well, so he's very.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Casey Jones Astrology, 1248 weeks after 9/11 was August 12th, and then 210 days later is today. So that's what it was. Go ahead, Rambo.
No. Yeah, I just made a can't even remember what I said.
I just wanted to reiterate that small point I made before we started your video, Rambo, about Jack fell and broke his crown. Once again, the crown connection with teeth. Jack Hughes gets a stick to the teeth. You know what I mean? So that falls right in line with the
Oh
work
yeah, that's
that
a
you're
great
doing,
one. That's a great. I'll put that in the video. I'll add that to the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. And again, so it's about the fallen angels. It's about the falling. It's about the fall.
You know what? It kind of goes back to the Nazis, man. With the Nazi stuff that you've done over the years, makes me think of what was that classic movie, the curb stomping stuff. I'm not trying to get super dark here. Biting the curb and all that.
I mean, if you're talking about NASA, yeah, that's a direct Nazi link.
Yeah.
Because of Werner von Braun.
Oh, geez. Nazi Germany, 133.
There's something with Nazis that equals 130. I know that.
Try like Gestapo or Schutzstaffel.
Oh, Sun and Moon 130. Yeah. Ronald McDonald 130.
Yeah. So Trump is. So they're saying that Trump didn't pay back the Scottish security guard who paid $130 for the McDonald's lunches. So that time, yeah.
Oh, Third Temple 130.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, they're saying so Trump will usher in the building of the Third Temple. This is what they're saying.
Huh.
Yeah, I had seen that one, the 130. Yeah, Third Temple is a big one. Which is
Television
really
130. 43 130. He shot 43 free throws.
Yes, he did. Florida, 43.
Oh, this is not a good one.
Oh, geez.
Nuclear attack. Oh, this is what it was. I was thinking.
You know what this reminds me of? That it just hit me. This was the date that Catherine O'Hara died, January 30th. For what it's worth.
Yeah. Indeed.
Who played Moira Rose.
Yeah, so 130, January 30th is also the birthday of Christian Bale, who played Batman in the Dark Knight Rises series. In the Bat's Upside Down, Donald Trump said, "I am Batman." So Christian Bale's 130 ties right into it because he's Batman.
Wow.
There's your and didn't you connect Myra Rose to the Rosicrucians 130? Rosicrucian 130?
Yep.
The Rosicrucians, a very often overlooked secret society that most people don't talk about. I spent a lot of time talking about them a few years ago, but definitely one that we forget to talk about sometimes.
100%.
Yeah, they actually predate. Again, the history is not that clear. Before you had official Freemasonry 1717, well, there were 3 lodges that existed already before 1717 that came together, and Rosicrucians existed before that, especially with Francis Bacon was a Rosicrucian. Like Rosicrucians really venerate, I would say, of Francis Bacon.
Yeah.
So these Francis Bacon ciphers are Rosicrucian ciphers, and it is in those Rosicrucian ciphers that Donald Trump is 130. And the Rosicrucians also,
Yep.
when the Jesuits were kicked out of the Catholic Church, some of them were actually given, you could call it refuge among Rosicrucians. Rosicrucians are associated with Jesuits as well. They provided some cover for Jesuits when they were kicked out of the Catholic Church. And of course, when you have organizations like that, there are always some who are against that and some who have no problem with that. These organizations is fractured. It's a lot more complicated than we realize. Like, you have an organization, and there are always these groups who feel that this group doesn't fit the original mission statement, so they'll branch off, and then another group says branch off from there. So it gets kind of complicated, but they are related to the Jesuits. They did provide some refuge for Jesuits.
Yeah, I didn't know that part about. I mean, I knew a lot. I looked into them a lot, but I didn't know about the Jesuit part.
Yeah, not there are always members among them who didn't like that. They didn't like the fact, like, oh, we don't want Jesuits here. We shouldn't be giving cover to them. So it's not like it's never just a monolithic thing. Some of them did accept the Jesuits, and others vehemently opposed it. But they are attached. Yes, they are attached.
Can I do a quick pivot?
In fact, if you look at if you write the Rosicrucians, I think that's 201. I don't know if it's in a Rosicrucian cipher or in the regular.
The
okay, it might be. There might be a different.
Wait, hold on.
Well, let me see.
Am I spelling it wrong? Yeah, I'm not. I think I'd seen that. I think it might be in the capital cipher, isn't it? Maybe.
Shout out to Onco Decodes. Look at this one, you guys. Bam is a city in Iran.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Bam Citadel in Iran.
Oh, that's wow. Then that's exactly what ties into.
There you go.
Amazing. Yeah.
Bam is a city, and let me pull that up. Hold on.
Yeah,
Bam.
awesome, Onco. That's a good one.
That's brilliant.
And Iran equals 130. Bam. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was an earthquake there. That's when it got worldwide famous, when it was hit by an earthquake.
Oh, great. This seems kind of ominous.
Oh, great, he says. Jeez.
Well, this is good. This is good right here.
Yeah, major shout out to you, Onco. That's a good one, man.
Yeah, that's the best comment so far. That ties right in. That's what it is. It's the Iran connection. Without a doubt, it's the Iran connection. Yeah, they're brilliant. I know. I just completely. That didn't occur to me. That's right. They had worldwide. It came to worldwide attention after that earthquake. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Think about it. It was once a fire temple. Argo Ebam Citadel in Iran is Miami Heat. Hello?
Yep. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Testing.
Yep.
No, I don't think you can hear us.
I don't know. I kind of lost you.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me? He can't hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can.
I hear you
good.
now.
Okay, good.
You're back.
For a minute there, though, things are cutting out. I don't know if it's on. I think it's on my end. But yeah, I was just saying the fire. The Miami Heat have fireball on their logo. They're dropping bombs on Iran. Bam, bam, explosions. Come on, it's just so clear now.
Yeah. So I've been talking about Vulcan because Vulcan, who's Hephaestus in Greece, that's where he's a fire god. That's where you get the term volcano. The biggest volcano in the solar system is on Mars. It's the biggest mountain in the solar system, according to astronomers. Is on Mars. It is called Olympus Mons, which means Mount Olympus. The Olympics celebrate the pantheon of Mount Olympus. where is Mount Olympus? Yes, there's a Mount Olympus in Greece. It's my position that the Mount Olympus they're referring to when they honor the pantheon of Mount Olympus is the Mount Olympus on Mars. Olympus Mons. That's the one that they're honoring. And it's a volcano. Volcano comes from Vulcan, who is the fire god, which is relevant because we've been talking about the Olympics, and this is an Olympic year. And I tied all other into like Lord of the Rings. It has the volcano. The opening ceremony for the Olympics had that fire theme. They had that in the arch. They had that fiery ball with the upside down pentagram. That was very similar to the imagery of Lord of the Rings, which has the volcano next to the tower with the all-seeing eye, which ties into the tower card. So that's why I've been talking about Vulcan, especially in Olympic year. The volcano, Vulcan, Olympus Mons, is on Mars, and of course Mars is the god of war. So it ties right into
Rambo. Check this out. Shout out, Mr. S. Can always count on you, man. Look at this. With what we started with.
Oh, okay.
Vulcans from Star Trek are often considered the epitome of nerds.
Yeah, brilliant.
Or intellectuals. That's amazing, you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, great connection. Yeah.
Amazing
connection. Great job by Mr. S. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Those are the nerds.
Wow. Those are the nerds. The Vulcans are the nerds.
But it ties into so it ties into the whole. I've been talking about Vulcan since the Olympics because it's the volcano. It's that volcano on Mars, Olympus Mons, Mount Olympus. And I got a lot more on that. There's so much that ties into that. Yes. Wow.
It's just amazing. Like, I didn't know we were going to get into Vulcan, let alone how it connects to nerds. You know what I mean? Like, this is so cool, man.
So the thing is, Vulcan is a Roman version of the Greek Hephaestus. He is a nerd. He is a nerd. Hephaestus is he's a craftsman, and he answers to Zeus, and he does things at Zeus's instructions. So if you think of like the computer world, if the world is a computer simulation, but one of the mythological, you could say, candidates for an architect of the Matrix would be Vulcan. Vulcan would be one of the architects. He's an architect. He's a nerd. Yeah. Vulcan is a nerd. Hephaestus is a nerd. He would be an architect of a potential architect of a Matrix. And this is the thing. In ancient Greece, Hephaestus was actually the god of automation and invention and craftsmanship. Ancient Greek philosophers, this is ancient Greek, understood the concept of AI. In fact, they debated AI and the pros and cons of it. Now, where I got that from, if you want to look into it, there's an author and researcher named Adrienne Mayer, and she wrote a book called Gods and Robots. And that's where she talks, when she goes in depth. She talks about in ancient Greece, they literally debated the pros and cons of AI. They understood what AI was or could be, just the concept of AI. And it makes you wonder, how long has an advanced AI really been around?
And the nerds in the movie Revenge of the Nerds in 1984, they were already building robots and showing the girls in the sororities like the cool like technology and all that, and this is stuff like literally the robots now. What's crazy is when I was at the University of Arizona just last weekend, they had those little robots that were like riding around campus delivering food and things like that. And then I watched this movie and it's literally like a robot moving around the fraternity house. So
one of the co-founders of Microsoft, along with Bill Gates, Alan, what's first name, Paul or something? The last name is Alan. His wife now owns the Seattle Seahawks. She was raising the Super Bowl trophy with the Seahawks. She's the wife of the co-founder of Microsoft Computers. That's the realm of Vulcan and Hephaestus. Well, I think she now owns the company. He had another company which he named Vulcan. Now, the reason he named it Vulcan because he's fully conscious of who Vulcan is, the architect, the craftsman of ancient Greece. Now he answers to Zeus. In mythology, Jupiter. Well, who is the god of Mount Olympus? The chief deity in the pantheon of Mount Olympus. It is Zeus. They tie together. Zeus, the Olympics, Vulcan, volcano. But yeah, so he had a company named Vulcan. I think his wife took over that now. He knew what he's doing when he named his company Vulcan. He's very conscious of who this Vulcan figure is related to computers and AI. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm just a bit confused what I missed because we're talking because I dropped out.
It goes back to Bam Iran. It goes back to Bam Iran, right? And then we started talking about the Vulcan. And then shout out Mr. S pointing out the Vulcan connection to nerds in Star Trek.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
that's
this all ties.
That's the
so
story,
everything that we talked about separately is all tying in together now. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, so I was saying the Roman god Vulcan is a nerd. He's based off of Hephaestus. He actually is a nerd. He's a craftsman. He is a nerd.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Revenge of the Vulcans then, huh?
There you go.
But in mythology, who does he need to get revenge against? He's on the winning side. He's on Zeus's side. Zeus is the winning side. So what's his issue? So he doesn't need revenge. If anything, revenge needs to be taken against him, or would be taken against him if somebody wants to take revenge. He's on the winning side. So he's not, as far as mythology goes, not that I know of. Maybe I need to look more into the mythology. Vulcan was never a victim that he'd need revenge. Yeah, August 23rd, yes. It's Vulcanalia, which is Kobe Bryant.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's Kobe Bryant's birthday. Yeah.
That's why he just broke Kobe's record.
Wow.
Now the head coach of the Canadian national hockey team that the U.S. defeated at the Olympics that celebrate Mount Olympus, which is on Mars. That's Mount Olympus. It's a volcano, Vulcan. The head coach of the Canadian national team, his birthday is August 23rd, which I showed that in one of my videos. Why they picked him to be the head coach for Canada for the Olympics, since the Olympics celebrate Mount Olympus, which is a volcano on Mars. So the head coach, his birthday. So what's his name again? Canadian hockey team. John Cooper. Yeah, there you go.
Can't get away from Cooper.
Nah, man, he's a big part of the show.
That he is. His birthday, right? Wow. My God.
6'7".
Oh, jeez. Oh my God.
So this was in my decode, this part here. But this other stuff, I mean, Mr. S, man, he's
Mr. S, yeah.
Really,
he's coming off the bench and cooking right now.
But I don't know who pointed out the BAM thing. Like credit there too.
Yeah, for sure. Bam Iran. What about founding date?
I mean, the ancient city. Usually, ancient cities like that don't have founding dates.
Yeah, good point.
But it'll be interesting.
248, which is Kobe Bryant Day.
Yeah,
there you go. And 224, that was the date of Kobe and Gianna's memorial.
There might have been
24th.
Historical events.
Today is 5 months, 14 days before Vulcanalia this year, like Israel's birthday.
What about from the last? Yeah.
Cody, request to share your screen if you can.
Okay, hold on. So there we go. Should be up.
Yeah, it was Chirac, I think, that brought up the BAM connection. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with you guys sometimes. You guys are killing it.
So yeah, it's 5 months, 14 days before Vulcanalia. It's
It was Onco.
it's almost
decodes. Sorry.
it's almost 201 days after Volcanalia, which is interesting because Bam Adebayo equals 201. It's 199.
Well, if you add the end date, isn't it 201?
No, it's if you add it, it's 200.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, Volcanalia is the 130th day of the year, folks, or left in the year.
Oh, jeez, man. Wow.
So Kobe's birthday is 130 days left in the year. So yeah, there's your 130. This is all tying back into the 130 now. Iran 130. Surprised that nothing in the Volcans equals 130. But notice how Volcanalia equals 33, like Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo.
There you go.
And notice how he did this on the 69th day of the year. And Volcanalia equals 96, the upside down. And today is the 69th birthday of Osama.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody in the chat said that. Thanks for reminding me, whoever that was in the chat also. Oh, yeah, it was Chirac. Chirac said Kobe, his record broken on bin Laden's 69th birthday on the 69th day of the year, and Bam Adebayo equals 69. I mean, how perfect. It's also perfect, man. And
don't forget, he did it against Washington. So there's the whole Washington connection, which equals 130, and the Washington Wizards. Wizards equals 37. Rambo talked about the 37s. But, that's where Michael Jordan retired. So now we're back to Michael Jordan in Chicago and all that.
And he ties right into Mars because that's where the volcano, it's the biggest mountain in the solar system, the biggest volcano. Michael Jordan is attached to Mars. He did the Air Jordan the early Air Jordan campaign with Mars Blackman, played by Spike Lee. In the country of Jordan, Hollywood films a lot of scenes from Mars, like the movie The Martian starring Matt Damon. In the country of Jordan, the Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan is used for Mars. And also when Michael Jordan, because he's tied into Kobe Bryant, when he inducted Kobe Bryant into the Hall of Fame, that was right at the same time as China was landing a rover on Mars. And there was a Mars-Sirius moon conjunction when Kobe Bryant was being... So Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant are attached, connected to Mars, which is where the volcano is, and Kobe's birthday is Volcanalia. Mount Olympus Mons is called. Mount Olympus.
And, Washington equals 130, where Olympia, Washington is, so we just had them win the Super Bowl, of course. They had Kobe Bryant on their team, remember?
Well, hence why Catherine O'Hara died on 130, right? From Toronto, but she played in Chicago. Played her character in Home Alone in Chicago.
It's also interesting.
O'Hare Airport.
It's worth noting too that Bam Iran equals 131, which is in the rule of Colel and Freemasonry. That's basically 130. So it's even a bit of a connection there.
Kind of sounds like Bomb Iran. Do you guys ever hear about that joke about bomb? Wasn't it called originally Barbara Ann? And then people spun it off.
The Beach Boys. That was like, it's John McCain who made it kind of famous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, John McCain
during 9/11 days.
Yeah.
AJ, I remember you did a video about that last year when he bombed Iran the first time. You were talking about bomb Iran.
I forgot about that video. Bomb Iran. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that, man. That'll be jeez Louise. Yeah. Bam Iran. I mean, fairly close. A bomb, bam. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh at war, it's just the play on words and how these things just keep boomeranging back to each other, Like you said, Cody, I was doing my own thing, so was Rambo, and so were you this week. And sure enough, all three of what we've been talking about, it's all coming together. Crazy.
Yep. Yep. This is a huge stuff here. Maybe this
Shout
is
out to
gonna be
Onco Decodes with Bam Iran. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great one.
The ancient citadel of Argibam. Yeah.
True Baller says, Rambo, I always thought Jordan was attached to Saturn because of Nike. I mean, I would just say that's just another thread on the whole thing, right?
Yeah, he's attached to Nike. He's attached to many things. He represents the four elements. Sirius more than anything else. If there's one celestial body he's attached to, it's Sirius more than anything else. It's the star Sirius. Yes, but Saturn, Mars, yeah, he's connected to a whole bunch of things. The four elements. He's the Lord of the Rings. Saturn is the Lord of the Rings because Saturn has the rings. Michael Jordan is the Lord of the Rings with his 6 rings. In fact, who starred in Lord of the Rings? Elijah Wood. You want to look up Elijah Wood's middle name? You know. Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
Elijah Wood, middle name.
Because he's the star of Lord of the Rings. That's what I'm saying. How Michael Jordan.
Jordan. There you go.
Yeah.
Yep. Jordan.
This is Lord of the Rings. Yeah. In fact, January 28th, you want to look up when the Eiffel Tower opened on his birthday. He's Lord of the Rings with the big tower with the all-seeing eye. I talked about the tower, the tarot card, which is the January 28th there. That's when the construction started on that date. And it's at the Champ de Mars in Paris.
And remember, Kobe was inducted in the Hall of Fame on the anniversary of the opening of the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, which ties, yes. So
hold on a second. Cody, could you do me a favor? Can you just do the date measurement of that opening date or the start of the construction that Rambo just mentioned to the last January? Or sorry,
what,
not
this?
No. We were just talking about
This
the construction date of the Eiffel Tower, right?
Yeah, 128. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can measure from the actual date and year to just the latest.
128, 1887. You measure all the way back to the year, you said?
Yeah. Like the actual date in the year to the latest January 28th this year.
Oh, okay. 138 years, I think, right?
138 years? Yeah.
Or 139. Is that what you wanted?
Sorry, I'm having trouble reading your screen.
Oh, hold on. 139 years, right?
Well, it's so what was the date you had? Or like the date and the year?
1887.
87. Okay. The reason I asked is because I did a quick Google search on Eiffel Tower opening date, and the first link that I stumbled upon is Eiffel Tower 130 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I don't know if it like that. That's why I was asking if you could do the measurement really quick because. Oh, okay. All right. So this is old. I mean, this is from 2019 for what it's worth, but that was their 130th. So my bad, you guys.
It was a reminder. The tower tarot card represents Mars. And why does the tower represent Mars? What does Mars have to do with the tower? It's the volcano, Olympus Mons, Mount Olympus. That's the tower. That's just, you're not going to hear. Those are the dots I've connected, and I'm pretty sure that's not a thing among tarot readers that I've seen. But I'm convinced, yes, that is the tower. That is why the tower is associated with Mars in the tarot. And Is the thing? It's a coincidence that Eiffel Tower is on the Champ de Mars? No, it's a reference to that mountain on Mars, the volcano.
Anko's in his bag right now. He says Nike is the Greek goddess of war. USA went to war with Iran 11 days after Jordan's birthday. Jesse Jackson also died that day. Jesse and Jordan had beef. Jesse wanted to boycott Nike, but Jordan refused. That's a good one, Anko. What was it? There was something I was just searching. Speaking of the Jackson theme, if I can find it, I was looking up who were the most. I'll throw it back in once I find it.
This is interesting.
Here we go. It made me start thinking back to LeBron's spouse being Savannah, and then you had Savannah Guthrie's mother who's missing, and then it made me think of the Savannah Bananas. Have you guys heard of these guys? They're
No.
like the kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, but they have like a whole league. There's like 6 or 8 teams or something like that. And the most popular players are KJ Jackson and Jackson Olsen. That's kind of interesting. Especially because we were talking about the Jackson connections a couple episodes ago. Cody, did you have something?
I thought I did, but I guess I had. Hold on. I guess I had the wrong date in here. Hold on. I was just looking into this 12/26/2003 earthquake in Bam. It's wow. Okay, actually, that's even more interesting. It's 8. Today is 8111 days after, or 8110. 8110 is the 141 prime. That's interesting because the 141 is World War III equals 141. It's a big number I've been talking about. So, and maybe there is something because we're talking about Bam breaking the record. There was an earthquake, a big earthquake in Bam, Iran.
I just want to shout out Joseph. It's good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah, what's up, Joseph? But yeah, 811, a number that Sean's talked about a lot, and 7-1 is talked about a lot. Actually, that's interesting because Revelation 8:11 is the falling wormwood star. Huh. That's interesting. Because in Revelation 8:11, the wormwood star falls and makes the waters bitter. That's the Revelation 8:11, and that wormwood is connected to Jupiter also. But so there's some interesting thoughts with that, and just from that earthquake, and when Satan falls, all this stuff about falling, falling and then causing an earthquake, a big bam, like it just seems that's a common theme here throughout the whole thing. It's just falling down, and then something big falls, it shakes the earth, so.
I'll make a loose prediction right now. A very common big injury in basketball is if a player is hanging on the rim after a dunk and they fall backward. I'm pretty sure that happened last year. I don't know if it was exactly with Cooper Flagg. I know he had a leg injury, but besides the point, the only really serious injury sometimes, it's all coming back. The dunk contest. If you guys go and watch the pathetic dunk contest, one of the players tried to dunk the ball off of, laying it off of the side of the backboard, and he fell directly on his back, smacked his head. It was a whole thing. So loose prediction is that you might see something like that in the NCAA tournament. I hope not, but with all the falling symbolism.
Yeah, well, the BAM thing is, yeah, that's just an incredible addition there by Okno.
Okno. Yeah, sorry, I was saying Onko. Yeah.
But
Okno.
I had to write it down. That is concerning because BAM is known to the world for the earthquake. There's a whistleblower who worked for Raytheon. His name is Eric Hecker. He said that he was stationed in Antarctica and he shows his credentials. They haven't sued him for slander or libel or anything. He has said it, that he was employed by Raytheon and they were stationed in Antarctica. And he said he was stationed in Antarctica at the time of the earthquake that hit Christchurch, New Zealand. Eric Hecker says he was there at the time and that Raytheon's technology in Antarctica caused that earthquake in New Zealand, in Christchurch. He's a whistleblower. He worked for Raytheon. Raytheon hasn't said anything that I know of. I mean, he hasn't been, that I know of. I haven't heard of him being sued, or they haven't said he's slandering them. He gave his credentials. He said he was there when the earthquake technology, he said it was an accident, that it went off by accident and it hit Christchurch. And that was a devastating earthquake in Christchurch, New Zealand. Now, another thing that Eric Hecker said, the United States is not the only country. And plus, these are private corporations that have the technology. So a private corporation can, I guess they can just pretty much sell to anybody. He said the United States is not the only country that has earthquake technology. And he said, this is Eric Hecker's testimony. And he's all over the internet and he's done a bunch of interviews. He said and talks that the United States has threatened a country. I think he was talking about Iran. Yeah, 6.767. Will actually threaten, like in negotiations, that will actually tell a country, if you don't do XX, blah, 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 whatever the negotiation is, we will give you an earthquake. And I guess now, if that's true, then, which I don't have no reason to think he's lying. He seems to be an honest person and he has credentials. I think he's telling the truth. That before it was known, I guess when they used it for the first time, if they had this negotiation and said, if you don't do whatever, you'll get an earthquake, then the earthquake happened. Now they know, oh, wait a minute. So they do have this technology and it's not just boasting to scare us. Wow, they really do have this technology. So this is what's disturbing. So if you have a war with Iran and you have this technology, will we see this technology used again? Will Iran get another earthquake? If Eric Hecker's, and you can look him up, Eric Hecker, if you can look up his testimony, and Raytheon has the of course there'll be a lot of detractors because of course you have a lot of enemies when you say that. So if you just do a random Eric Hecker thing, they'll say, oh, he's a kook. Yeah, sure he is. Why hasn't Raytheon sued him then? You should sue them. Like he's accusing Raytheon of creating. Look at the death toll for the BAM earthquake. The death toll. I mean, I have the tab here. It is 34,000 fatalities, 200,000 injuries. That's a huge one. That's not. So this is not something. If someone's accusing you of doing it, that you're going to just not. Maybe they don't think enough people will see it. It won't really resonate with people. It is concerning. So if there's a conflict with Iran, will we see another devastating earthquake in Iran? But another thing he mentioned is the United States is not the only country with this technology. It's not just Raytheon, and other countries have it too, he says. KODI was just bringing up San Francisco. I can't remember the exact context. You're just talking about San Francisco. San Francisco is known for earthquakes. if other countries have this technology, and we talk about the revenge theme, and especially because Sir Francis Drake, Drake's Bay is right in the San Francisco area, and he captained the ship the Revenge against the Spanish Armada. If other countries have this technology, would the United States, would they dare use it? I mean, it's hard to believe any country would dare use it against the United States, knowing the devastating, literally the most powerful military in human history. The United States can destroy the earth 50, 100 times over with all its weapons, nuclear weapons and everything. And attacking the United States, I can't imagine a country do that. If there's an attack in the United States, I'll assume it's a false flag, because nobody in their right mind, it's a suicide. You're committing suicide if you attack the United States, and the United States has shown that it's a psychopath who will not hesitate to drop nuclear bombs on people, deploy earthquake technology, and do what they're doing now. I find it hard to believe that any country would attack the United States. That's a death warrant. But nonetheless, would we possibly see an earthquake in San Francisco or in the United States, maybe San Francisco, or in Iran, considering the testimony of Eric Hecker about what the capability that Raytheon has? Now, speaking of Bam Bam and
I'll be right back, you guys.
Speaking of Bam Bam and San Francisco, which Cody, you were talking about San Francisco. There is another athlete who's named after Bam Bam. He's a baseball player, Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. He won 3 World Series with the San Francisco Giants. That's Hensley Bam Bam Mullins. Just look up Hensley Mullins. Hensley Mullins. Even if you miss M-U-E, I think. There you go. He came up there. You can read that. Hensley Philemon Ocasio. That's an interesting one, huh? Mullins, born June 23rd, 6'7", nicknamed Bam Bam. Is a Curaçaoan professional baseball player. And he won 3 World Series with the San Francisco Giants.
Oh, I'm muted.
Oh, you're talking?
Yeah, I was
like
talking.
thinking of somebody. Okay, it's a good thing. Okay.
No. I was just saying that it's interesting that his name is Ocasio when Bad Bunny's middle name is Ocasio, or last name is Ocasio, and this Bam breaks the record on Bad Bunny's birthday. So this is probably definitely, yeah, I would have known this, Rambo. So yeah, that's a great connection.
Yeah, the only reason I'm aware of it.
Look at his debut, Rambo. Look at his debut.
Oh, wow, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is out of control.
Wait, in the year of the 1989 San Francisco earthquake, remember the World Series earthquake?
Yep. This isn't good. I don't like what this is indicating. This isn't good. And it's the thing, if there's an earthquake, well, Eric Hecker let us know. If there is an earthquake, I do not think. Well, look, there's October 2nd. That's Jack Parsons' birthday. Last appearance was on Jack Parsons' birthday, October 2nd, which is 2nd October. That's why he's Frater 210.
Wow.
So yeah, he's connected. The Ocasio. If there is an earthquake, it will not be a natural earthquake. It will not be. If there is one, hopefully there is not one. And hopefully if there is one, it's not that devastating.
Oh my gosh, look at that. His name even equals 201, the same cipher as Bam Adebayo.
This isn't good. Yeah,
Jesuit order, of course. The Jesuit order one.
I want to clarify that thing of the 201 with it's the Rosicrucians. It's 201 in the Elizabethan, which is the Rosicrucian cipher, reverse. That's where it's 201. Yeah. And I shout out Casey for that. great mind that I am very fortunate to have on my Patreon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Casey. Well, it was Casey who brought this to our attention originally, anyways. Today, this BAM thing, he was the one that dropped the record breaking in the chat. So,
not Casey Jones. There's a different Casey.
Oh, the other Casey.
Yeah, there's a different. Yeah.
Casey May, you mean?
No, not Casey. There's a different. She's one of my patrons, but I've learned a lot from her. She's very scholarly.
So many Caseys.
On a lot of subjects.
So many Caseys.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, if you look up the Elizabethan reverse, you'll see that's just to clear up, because we had some confusion about
right
that 201, but that's what it is. It's Elizabethan reverse, Francis Bacon reverse. It's 201.
Well,
the Rosicrucians, yeah.
Yeah, and check this out. Bam Adebayo equals Hensley Mullins. Mullins, he debuted on Vulcanalia. Man, I'm really having a lot of lag today. Anyways, can you hear me, Rambo?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, what's the odds that this guy equals Bam Adebayo? He equals Vulcanalia. He debuted on Vulcanalia. Man, AJ, I guess you're back now. You missed. We found another huge piece, man. This is crazy.
Of course I did. I mean, we just keep cooking over here.
Okay, I'll say what it is.
What are the cliff notes?
Hensley Mullins is a baseball player who won 3 World Series with the San Francisco Giants. The reason I'm aware of him, he's not that well known, is because living in the New York area, and I used to be a diehard sports fan like crazy. I used to listen to sports radio all day. He played for the Yankees. So, they always talk about Bam Bam in the New York area. Bam Bam Mullins. This is the other Bam Bam. And he ties right into it. It's Hensley Bam Bam Mullins, formerly of the Yankees, but he won 3 World Series with the San Francisco Giants. San Francisco associated with earthquakes. This is about the earthquake technology that Raytheon has. And that there's a suggestion that the United States could have caused that Bam Iran earthquake. It could have been caused by the United States deploying that technology. And he debuted in 1989, the year of the San Francisco World Series earthquake, when they played a team from the Bay Area, Oakland. So Hensley Bam Bam Mullins is connected. He also has Jack Parsons. His last appearance was on Jack Parsons' birth anniversary.
Well, I was going to say his debut. Look at his debut.
Yeah, you said on Vulcanalia. Yeah. I didn't mention that. Sorry. Cody.
And you know, like as I was mentioning, his name again equals Bam Adebayo.
Are you getting that too, Rambo?
Yeah. For me, sounds like he's in outer space. He sounds like.
How fitting. Well, I noticed too that his last appearance was with the Diamondbacks, so that ties further into Kobe, the Black Mamba, right? So his first ever appearance was on Vulcanalia, which is Kobe's birthday, and then his last game ever played was with the Diamondbacks. So, Cody, you back? Can you hear us, brother? You were kind of cutting out for a minute.
Yeah, I'm back. I was just saying that what's the odds that Rambo brings this other Bam Bam guy up? He has the same number as Bam Adebayo, 201, the same cipher, and the same number as Vulcanalia in the same cipher, 66. He debuted on Vulcanalia. I mean, this is just so.
Hold on, really quick, because remember what we talked about with Revenge of the Nerds, right? Released July 20th. Isn't that the 201st day of the year?
Yeah. The moon landing, huh?
Oh my
201.
God. Oh my God, man.
But yeah, I mean, Iran equals 66 also, like Vulcanalia. Maybe we should watch out for Kobe's birthday this year or something. I don't know.
Oh, you know something's going down both of those days. You know what? Something will go down the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th like it did last year. There were 3 crashes back to back to back because what's his face? LaMelo Ball, the face of the Charlotte Hornets, who Michael Jordan used to own, who drafted Kobe. His birthday is August 22nd. You know, so you got his birthday, then you got Kobe's birthday, then you got Kobe Bryant Day. Back to back to back. So yeah, look out for that span for sure.
Yeah, and you know, like I just thought about it, but Kobe went down in a fireball type of crash, right? Or supposedly.
Well, I was going to say, like, I brought up the Miami logo just because it looks like a bomb, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Like
you've got the comet.
Ball.
I just told you guys that the story was that in Germany, a meteor hit a house. So it's like the same, like all this symbolism of bombs dropping or meteors dropping or collapsing, towers falling.
Falling.
Right? Yeah, that's what I mean. It's all, you know, it's the same symbolism I keep catching on to with this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a whole decode, look into all these dates and of this guy. You know, I mean,
just make note of Bam Margera as well, especially with this new Jackass movie coming out. You got to think Bam Margera is going to be somewhat intertwined with this.
There's also a wrestler named Bam Bam Bigelow. Bam Bam Bigelow. Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I hear you now, but I don't know what happens when I go away there, but I just completely lose you guys for a second and then comes back. But yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow. I just wanted to bring this up. He probably connects.
Well, you know what's crazy? I just saw that Quantum was asking, wait, there's a new Jackass movie coming out? Yes, there is. And Cody, I'm going to take the screen here really quick just to show everybody. New Jackass movie. Once again, this is going to go right back to Kobe, you guys. Look at this. So, once again, that skull and bone symbolism. Can't get away from that. But June 26th this year. Anyone know or want to guess what Kobe's draft date was?
Was it that day?
June 26th.
Yeah.
What about LeBron's?
Was it also June 26th?
Yes, it was.
In 2003, the year of the Bam earthquake.
Wow. Bam.
Huh. Trying to think what else happened in 2003.
Yeah, the war, the invasion of Iraq was in 2003. The Iraq invasion.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, okay.
Started in 2003. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I for some reason I can't do much right now because my computer is so slow. Every time I do something, any type of looking, I always zoom out. I'm just gonna close my thing for now and just talk because it's getting annoying.
That's fine. I guess kind of one of my closing questions would be, does the number 289 mean anything to you guys? It's not really standing out to me for any reasons, but I just ask because that's Bam Margera's birthday. He's still alive.
That's the day Bad Bunny was announced as the performer for the halftime.
Oh, geez, dude. There you go. all I had to do was ask. Oh my God, man. Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that day vividly because I just remember he was exactly 131 Mercury years old that day, Bad Bunny.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So I'm just gonna have to make a mental list. We've got Bad Bunny connected. We got Bam Adebayo, Bam Iran. We got this whatever the other guy was, Bam Hensley.
Hensley Mullins.
Mullins, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got possibly Bam Bigelow, the wrestler.
Kobe and LeBron, Arizona.
And what's the name of this other guy you're talking about? Bam
Margera.
Margera.
Yeah, he was one of the bigger names. There was like 8 of them or something like that, like the main guys. But this guy, Bam Margera.
Yeah, so he also had his own show by himself. So
yes,
a lot of the Jackass guys, they did Jackass together. And then someone like Bam, he had his own separate show he was able to do from it was called Viva La Bam, which I've been talking about the song Viva La Vida.
Yes,
for a long time, and how relevant it was. It actually came up in the Olympics. I couldn't believe it. Again, thanks to Janet B. So the big story besides the ice hockey, the biggest story of the Olympics was that big upset in the ice skating her name is Melanin. Sounds like Malanin was the name of the ice skater. He was a shoo-in, like guaranteed, like he's head and shoulders above the competition. All he needed was an average performance, and then he tanked. And at the end, while they were awarding, he tanked. He went all the way to 8th. It's ridiculous. All he needed was an average performance. Average. Even by anyone's standard, just average. He still would have won. He was so far ahead. He didn't just have average. He just, out of the blue, inexplicably tanked. He finished 8th. Malinin was his name. At the awards ceremony for the medals, Malinin.
Am I spelling it right?
M-A-L, Malinin, M-A-L-I. Even if you're close, just put Malinin ice hockey, even if you don't get skater. Yeah. Even if it's close, like you could say upset or let's say upset. Yeah. That was a big story. It's a shock. It was a shock. Heavily favored. They call him the quad god. So a quad god, he's called quad because he pulls off something like, I didn't know it was humanly possible. No one else can do it. It's called a quadruple axle. He can go in the air, do 4 revolutions in the air and land, which no one else can do. It's like a triple axle is considered like very few people can do it. He does a quadruple axle. That's why, but he lost. And that was the big story. At the awards ceremony, they played Viva La Vida, which ties into, I was talking about Viva La Vida by Coldplay. It's a song by Coldplay. I talked about it earlier last year in regards to Back to the Future.
We used to rule the world. That song.
Yes. And I was saying how it's, of course, this isn't the official thing, but looking at the lyrics, I said that song is about Saturn. And this is about and it's in the Boston Bruins logo, the 8-spoke wheel. Well, that's what the sky looked like when Saturn was Earth's sun. They say it was Saturn. Mars was directly below Saturn, and Earth was below Mars. And Saturn was closer. Saturn used to be Earth's sun, and that was the golden age. When Saturn ruled the world, was Earth's sun. It was considered a golden age. There was no money. There was no ownership of anything. People were free. There was harmony. The flip side of that is it was very low tech. You can imagine in a society like that, there's not much technology and not much technological advancement in industry, but it was harmony. There was no money. no hierarchy. Nobody owned anything. It was just harmony. That's actually why on Saturnalia in Rome, they it's just kind of like everyone's just free spirited because they're honoring when Saturn was the god. That's how it was like. In fact, the Sabbath, which is Shabtai, which is Saturn in Hebrew, the reason the day of the week named after Saturn is the Sabbath, the day of rest, is because when Saturn ruled the world, when Saturn was Earth's sun, that's how it was every day. So what you're doing on Saturday, on the Sabbath, is you're imitating the golden age when you didn't work. There was no work. There's no ownership. There's no money. Everybody was free. But Saturn got displaced by, well, there are a couple of bodies. The sun we have now, I don't know, it's a long explanation how they propose this happened. But anyway, this sun came in and displaced Saturn as Earth's sun and banished Saturn to way the other end of the solar system. And then now we have the system we have now. When you think of the Knights Templar, the Templar cross is a solar cross. The Templar system is the money system that we have now. The debt, slavery, and yeah, you're pretty much enslaved to money. People do things they don't really want to do, and it's wake up with dread, or even if they don't, they just kind of tolerate their job, and you know how it is. The money system. Well, it wasn't like that when Saturn ruled the world. And the song "Viva La Vida," I figured it is about Saturn. I used to rule the world, and they played that song after Marlon and lost. And I thought I was just talking about that in relation to the Boston Bruins. That's why they have that. That's why they called the Bruins, because when Saturn was Earth's sun, it was in the northern sky. It was at the location of Polaris. The star Polaris is on the tail of Ursa Minor, the little bear. That is why the Boston Bruins call themselves the Bruins and have that Saturn symbol. That's the way it looked when Saturn had Venus spreading its light streamers on the body of Saturn. So it looked like an 8-spoked wheel in the sky. That's the Boston Bruins logo. They call the Bruins because that's a reference to Ursa Minor, the little bear. On the tail of the little bear is Polaris, which used to be the location of Saturn, the 8-spoked wheel.
And is this not an AI thing playing with us? I mean, come on, look at the big ad, Dynamite, with the BAM cartoon kind of thing that KODI was pointing out. I mean, Dynamite, we're talking about falling bombs and dynamite and everything else. Wow. But yeah, no, all great points, Rambo, for sure. Yeah, I guess to tie it back, because the other thing that you pointed out was Viva La Vida, which you've talked about extensively, but then also going back to BAM, right? Viva La Bam.
Yeah, so Viva La Bam, that was the name of his show. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I remember this show. 5 seasons.
No, that's a lot. I didn't realize I had that many, but yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So new Jackass movie coming out. Viva La Bam. Not coming out, but Bam Margera. Bam Adebayo. Unreal, man. This is crazy. His mom's name is Ape? April? Call me Ape. That's weird. KODI, you still out there, brother?
He's muted. His mic is muted. Oh,
yeah, I'm here. I'm just I'm here. I'm listening, and I'm just filling in some of my my dates, you know, because of this new tool I have. I have to fill in all these dates, so I have them what's it called, like documented, you know, because the more dates I fill in, the better, you know, because then I can make more connections. So yeah, I don't know how many dates I have in my thing now, but I have lots of dates. I wish I could just get some sort of download of like all the historical events and just put them all in there instantly. That would be nice, because then you could see what's happening every day and all the events that's happened on every day. But right now it's just about going through every day and manually entering them in. So I'm just entering in all the BAMs, all their birthdays, so I can go through and look at all the measurements. But
Really quick, Quantum asked a question to you, Rambo. What was that book again that you discussed? Saturn as Earth's Return?
Right. So that's a book by David Talbot. You can put the screen up so she can see it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
David Talbot, but his work is put David Talbot Saturn Myth. That's a misspelling. That's fine. They'll correct you. Yeah, Saturn Myth. That's it, by David N. Talbot. Now, before you're reading it, one thing she's interested, I'm sure she'll do this, is if you go to YouTube, David Talbot did, and I put clips of Talbot's video in my videos. He did a video called Symbols of an Alien Sky on YouTube. I don't know if you want to, but Symbols of an Alien Sky. Yeah, that's it. That's the video. And it's a part one. I mean, I've looked at it. I've looked at part two, and part two was over my head. And that was a few years back. But he gets nitty gritty. So David Talbot. I don't know about these other. Oh, it looks like he did something more recently. Yeah, but that's it. That's the Boston Bruins logo right there. That's the Boston Bruins logo. And that's Mars. We're talking about Mars. That red dot there. She might look at that. And that's based on the work of Immanuel Velikovsky, who wrote a book called Worlds in Collision. And so one thing Talbot points out is these symbols of the way the sky used to look, which it doesn't look like now at all. It's confirmed by just multiple cultures, ancient cultures around the world. Multiple. They have the exact same symbols. And in modern day, with examples like the Boston Bruins, they're honoring it. They are still honoring it in 2026 with the Boston Bruins and the 8-spoke wheel. They call the Bruins because it's Ursa Minor, the little bear. Saturn was located, that 8-spoke wheel was located at that location of Polaris. The Bruins know exactly what they're doing. That's what they're referring to. And they did that with Charlie Kirk too. There's a reason he's a Cubs fan, because Saturn was at Polaris. Now, the point in Polaris in the northern sky, where the stars rotate around counterclockwise, they rotate counterclockwise at the point of Polaris, which is on the tail of the little bear. The little bear, that's Ursa Minor, Boston Bruins. Polaris, that point that's the axis around which the northern stars rotate. What is Charlie Kirk's, the name of his organization? Turning Point. That is a direct reference to Polaris, where Saturn used to be located. Polaris on the tail of the little bear. What's a little bear? A cub? What is Charlie Kirk's favorite baseball team? The Cubs. Of course it's the Cubs, because the turning point is on the tail of the Cubs. That's why it's Turning Point USA. And right next to the little bear, Ursa Minor, there's Cepheus the King, not King Cepheus, Cepheus the King, which is a constellation shaped like home plate in baseball, which is why at the place where he was allegedly shot, it was shaped like home plate. That was a reference to Cepheus the King constellation, which is right next to the little cub Ursa Minor, which is why he was a Cubs fan. And on the tail of the cub is the turning point. That's where Saturn used to be, which is why it's Turning Point USA. They're all those references with Charlie Kirk are to the northern constellations and Polaris, the point around which the stars rotate.
I want to be cognizant of time. I know Cody joined us late because of the time change. Great stuff, by the way, Rambo. Seriously. Sometimes I can't. I got nothing else to add. That's fantastic. There's one more thing I'm going to add really quick before we start landing the plane here, so to speak. When I thought about Iran, Rambo, you'll know this. I ran so far away by the flock of who? The seagulls. Seahawks, seagulls, I ran. You got to think there's got to be something there, you know, with this particular song.
It's been brought up before when Iran has been in the news. Yeah. It was used. So this track was used famously on Grand Theft Auto, the video game.
Yes.
So
and they're releasing a new Grand Theft Auto, which keeps getting pushed out, just like the rocket to the moon.
Yeah, rocket, yeah. I also mentioned in one of my videos the connection of Charlie Kirk to Jack Parsons. So Jack Parsons, he ended up with having a hard time finding work because a whole bunch of stuff. He's accused of espionage and a whole bunch of things, and also the stuff he was doing with the Antichrist stuff. So he had a hard time getting employed. So one of the things he did to make money was he made squibs for Hollywood. What a squib is, it's a kit that you can look up squib kit just to let people know.
Yeah.
A squib kit, or you put in Charlie Kirk squib kit. So what a squib is, when you do scenes in Hollywood where somebody gets shot. So like, you know, the person will fire and then there'll be blood in Hollywood. Well, they do that with what's called a squib. And they show you what the squib looks like. The kit looks like you put it under the clothing, and then you time it where it's triggered, and then blood will pop out. So yeah, it's a squib kit. And Jack Parsons was actually making squibs for Hollywood at one point. It does tie into Charlie Kirk. If you I showed it in my video. I've got pictures of that. I don't know if you can see them here, if they even find them, but there are very clear pictures of leading up to the Charlie Kirk incident. There's a whole bunch of stuff under his shirt, you know, like what looks like wires and little things protruding. Looks very much like a squib kit. That is exactly what a squib kit looks like under your clothes. But of course, in Hollywood, they don't want to show the bumps and stuff. They have to make it look realistic. But you see the little protrusions under the clothes here. So if you put Charlie Kirk squib kit, I don't know if
it came up. Let's see.
Well, I got some on when I did my video. Very clear pictures of all the stuff under his shirt as he's walking towards that event.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I had clear pictures in my video of it.
Yep.
Very clear. Yeah. It looks like a squib kit. It looks like. Is there proof that it was? No, they're not definitive proof, but that's what it looks like. And that's actually what it looks like when a squib kit is used, how blood will splatter. And yeah, right. Jack Parsons was making those.
Wow. But yeah, flock of seagulls, Seahawks win the Super Bowl. Iran so far away. Now we got all this Iran stuff in the news. I don't think that's a coincidence either. Patriots, U.S. versus Seagulls, flock of seagulls, Iran so far away. Go ahead, Codes.
No, AJ, I just wanted to make a few points about the guy that you were talking about, Margera.
Yeah, Bam Margera.
Check this out. I mean, just check out the coincidental gematria here. Miami Heat equals Bam Margera, or Margera, however you say that. And check out how the full name of Bam Adebayo, if you add the Bam,
there you go.
And the full name of Margera, if you add the Bam, is the same cipher match. And even if you take away that match, it's of course the same. So, you know, you got, again, these kind of things are just crazy, you know, all these different Bams or the gematria. I haven't looked into the date duration connections, but I'm sure there is one. So, yeah.
Well, that's why I was saying, especially with this Jackass 6 movie coming out or whatever. I don't know which one it is now. They've done a lot of them, but it's been a long time since they've done one. So, especially with what happened today, real time on this live stream with Bam Adebayo. That was one of the first things that hit my brain. So I appreciate you sharing that, man. Was there anything else that you wanted to add, I guess, before we wrap things up?
Me, not personally. I got to start getting wrapped up myself and trying to get some rest. And
yeah,
I was planning on putting out another video on my channel tomorrow as well for people, but we'll see if I have the energy for that or not. But definitely going to try after this. I think this is probably going to be my topic. I think I'm going to look more into this BAM stuff.
It's not every day someone passes Kobe in all-time scoring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely. And once that comment about Bam Iran was added, it just kind of blew everything open. So,
pun intended.
Yeah, Bam Iran.
Well, all right. So, with that, I guess Rambo. Anything else with anything we've touched on? Kind of wrapping up comments before we do some outros.
I mean, we touched on so much stuff. All I'll say is I have more in my Parsons video, which I will be. I thought I'd release it quickly. There's so much to add. So realistically, in the next couple of days, but there's that intro to give people an idea, and then plus more things will come up here with the volcano and the BAM. Has some short things to add to that, I guess.
And
yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Let the viewers know where they can find you.
Patreon.com/thetruthcodes. You can join for free. There's some content for free. There are a bunch of videos you can see for free. And Instagram.com/thetruthcodes.
Well, we really appreciate it, Rambo. Man, I'll say, yeah, Mr. S, appreciate it. Let's make sure before we close out it, all you guys, if you haven't hit the like or the subscribe yet, please make sure you do. It really, really does help with this particular stream and the channel as well, obviously. So we always appreciate the love and the support. I'll just echo what Rambo just said. For those of you guys that are not familiar with Rambo, the Truth Codes, you guys can find him on patreon.com/the Truth Codes, only $5 a month. And shout out to Coffee Girl saying, thank you, Cody, for being here for us. We understand that it is quite a sacrifice for you, man, for you to get up the time that you do. Obviously, this week was a little bit of a hiccup because of the daylight savings. But Cody, please, for anybody who could be tuning in tonight that are not familiar with you and your channel, please let the viewers know where they can find you and support you.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everyone in the chat who was sending kind words over to me. And like I said, this is something I really enjoy doing. So it's not so much of a hassle to get up, although I am often very tired when I wake up in the middle of the night. But it wakes me right up to start talking about this stuff. So I appreciate everyone. And if you guys want to find me, again, YouTube is where I do most of my stuff, is Decoding with Cody on YouTube. And then, again, buymeacoffee.com/decoding with Cody. If you guys want to support me, that's how you can do it. So thank you to everyone. And again, thank you to AJ and Rambo as well.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
And thank you, Cody. Seriously, it's been an awesome stream as always. This is one where it was really like, wow, all three of us have been on to kind of different things without necessarily talking every single day. And then we come together and boom, it just becomes a beautiful web. Like Rambo says a lot, we're in a massive web. We're just kind of climbing through different portions of it. So my name's AJ, Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's and Ball. You guys know where to find me. This is where my YouTube channel is, where we're streaming tonight. You guys can also find me on Instagram at Balll Don't Lie, 3 L's and Ball. Please feel free to send me an email at wordplaybook3osandbook@gmail.com if any of you guys are interested in any of my handwritten content. And this does include quotes, excerpts, etc. from both Cody and Rambo throughout the years. So in closing, I just want to say one final thank you to everybody in the chat. I mean, if it wasn't for Onko, right, bringing up Bam Iran, for example, that was the big bang, so to speak, tonight. You know, we've had several of those over the last, almost a year now that we've been doing this. The content would not be what it is without you guys. So just a final echo. Thank you to all of you guys that tune in every single week. Like I say, it is the best night of the week with reason. So without further ado, once again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe and the share wherever you guys see fit. Great content. I know it's a little long, but if someone has a long drive or something, this is a great podcast to listen to. Shout out to you, Rambo. Shout out to you, Cody. Thank you guys again so much. And we will see you guys next week.
That was Okno.
Okno. Is it Onko or Okno?
Okno. Okno.
Okno. OKNO decodes.
Yeah.
We love you. Okay, no. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, no. But no, that was fantastic. That was the BAM of the show. But honestly, there was so many other great additions as well. So shout out to all of you. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you guys next week. Best night of the week. We'll see you guys again soon. Peace.
All right. Good night.